I think we are live. I have no idea as yet because nothing has come up on my laptop to let me know. Let me just see. Yeah, there we go. Let me just skip that bit. Do that bit. Oh, hello. Before you ask where Chris is, I got no idea. Chris has done a runner. So we are doing a live tonight. It's going to be a open mic night. So the pinned comment is the StreamYard link. So if you want to click that, click it, come in, come and say hello. Maybe ask some questions. You don't even have to have your camera on if you don't want it. You can literally just come on with your voice only. Yeah, Amy, he's fine. He just does it from time to time. He just does a disappearing act. He'll probably say he was busy with work and tired. And that is it. Hey, exotic enclosures. Chris is hunting for Tim. But yeah, if you want to pop on and come join, I'm gonna literally ask what you guys daft advice that you've been given that you literally, maybe you used to follow it and then your knowledge developed and then you stopped doing it, that type of stuff. I think when I first started, the biggest one for me was always, if you're comfortable, they're comfortable. And I actually followed that kind of rule for about 6 to 12 months before getting proper into it. And then discovering that if I'm comfortable at 18 degrees, my spiders are not going to be. They need to be a little bit warmer. So what did you get? What bad advice did you get when you first started that you since come to learn is absolute utter BS? Again, that StreamYard link is as a pinned comment, so you can click that and come and join me whenever you feel like it. Hey, Amy. Amy said she's had that advice as well. Hey, Donna. Hi, Tim. Come on, make my snake a vegan. Do you know what, Tim? That as funny as that sounds, I have heard it. I have actually heard that one. Hey, Craig, aka Cringe. Hey, Nicholas, you okay? Hey, my pet are after the pods. Hey, Tom. Hey, Josh, you okay? If it's dry, you gotta spray it. Hey, Susan, you alright? Hey, Connor. If it's dry, you gotta spray it. I have a massive problem with those little misting or misting sprays. And I think Uncle Dave covered it a little while ago. And that's the fact that you spray and the humidity shoots up to, hey Charlotte, shoots up to like 70, 80% for about half an hour, and then it drops straight back down to where it was before you sprayed. Anyway, I much prefer getting that moss in there, drenching the moss. It holds 8 times its own weight in water. You've probably heard me say that a few times in videos and stuff, but I can't say it enough. I absolutely love moss, and it's really, really good. And like the mist for jumpers and mantis, nothing else. See, for mantis, I do miss them, as Amy does. But again, that's just as a water source. And the same, if I had a jumping spider, I'd probably do the same with that, as well as stick insects. But to really keep that humidity up over a long period of time, we need that water to be in the base of the enclosure and slowly release it throughout the day, or if you're going even 2 or 3 days, then you need it to be doing that quite slowly over the course of the next couple of days. So a large water dish, that's great for your humidity, nice and deep, because if you have a large one and it's dead shallow, it's going to dry out really, really quick. I don't know how many of you have seen or have used those little ones, those tiny little pots, that clay pots, and they seem to dry out very, 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 very fast. Whether they're porous, we have no, I don't know, but every time I've used them, they seem to dry out really quick. So if you do use them, you've got to be on it permanently. Hey, Tim, you're right.
You're right. Good evening. How are we all doing?
Yeah, not bad, you.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I couldn't leave you sit out there without Chris, mate.
That's all right, I don't mind. It'd be payback on Friday.
Oh, dear. I don't think I want to know what's happening on Friday.
Nothing, I'm just busy.
You're busy on Friday, you're not disappearing.
I've just done 2 weeks of on-call. So last weekend it finished on the Saturday because I said, look, I'm covering this lads on call, but I'm not doing the Sunday. So I've literally got this week and then I'm on call again Friday and next week. Tim has the most amazing sling pot holder. Roll on Monday, says Donna. Was that the one that you first originally shown? Freelance human being, what a name. Awesome. Hey, man. Was that the one that you showed in London show? Capital show?
Yeah, I've had most of them at Capital, haven't I?
Yeah.
Most of them at the shows, sorry, I should say.
Craig uses coffee lids for water dishes.
Do you know what? Bottle top? Like Coca-Cola bottle tops. Yep. Yeah.
Again, though, I think if we're using these for like obviously smaller spiders, that depth that will dry out. So we've got to be keeping our eye on it. But I mean, most of us spider guys and spider girls and spider in betweeners, we're all off our heads anyway. So we spend so much time with the spiders. This is unreal. So us lot, we ain't got an excuse.
No, well, you know what's normal, what's off your head, so on and so forth. You know, I think we've just another hobby, isn't it? Just because some people don't get it.
It's like hey Tony, it's like I said to people that don't get it though. You know, they're into football, and I'm like, I don't get football. I don't understand why you're so fascinated with football. I really don't like it. But the same passion you got for football, I've got for my spiders.
Exactly that.
I says, and literally that's how it is. And I've had to explain that type of thing to so many people. It's crazy. And I'm like, look, you know, you do your thing. But luckily, I mean, my friends know I'm not wired up right anyway. So they just put it down to me not being wired up correctly. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. You know, I am wired. You know, everything's fine. Everything's good. It's just I happen to like spiders. You know?
I'm not going to go into the whole situation, but I once got asked a certain question in a legal capacity of, is your relationship normal? Describe normal and I'll answer the question. They couldn't describe normal. I'm not going to be answering a question.
Yeah, I think a normal relationship is as long as there's two willing participants that love each other or have affection for each other, or more than two if they love each other's and have affection for each other. That
yeah, you know, a normal relationship.
Outside of that, what is normal?
Yeah, a normal relationship could be you and Tara having an argument every morning at 7 o'clock. That could be perfectly normal.
With me and Tara can go 48 hours with just going, you're right. Yeah. And that's it. You know,
she will in 4 days.
She will switch off and watch her. She's watching the Amsterdam yet again. Is it the Amsterdam, the hospital on Netflix? That series. She's watching that again, and I'll just go off and do my own thing.
Yeah.
And some nights she'll be like, "Oh, sod it," and she'll get the blanket and she'll wrap up on the settee and she'll go to sleep and be there all night. And now that's not her saying, "Oh, I don't like you, Scott." That is literally her just going, "I'm quite comfy down here tonight." That's it. See you later. And those nights I really enjoy because I get a double bed all to myself, and it does. And that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you can spread eagle and starfish and do what you want.
I never do. I've never. The only time I spread eagle is if I'm not feeling too well, or if I'm not sleeping, then I'll lie on my front, and that's it. Freelance human being. I love that name. Such a
Yes.
says, I never understood sport fans. Personally, I don't want to watch a game that I don't even want to play. Tribalism again. Yeah, that's a good point. Amy H said about these water dishes. She said because the thing that annoys me with the drinks lids is that they've changed them so they don't detach from the bottles anymore. But they do.
Yeah, they do, but you got to tear them and then cut them. And
If you find there's a water bottle, I think it might be Buxton's that I drink, and you unscrew it and then it holds on with two tiny bits of plastic, twist it and it comes straight off.
yeah, most of them you can get off, but that new design is annoying.
Having said that, because of the work I do, my hands are quite strong anyway. Do you know what I mean? So if you've got a pair of snips, you can soon snip the two bits off and job done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy says she's really picky with drinks.
Don't blame me. If that is someone messaging my business page, I'm not ignoring you. I just can't read it while I'm on it.
Amy, I literally will, if they haven't got the Starbucks coffee, cold coffee, and that is a treat. I generally don't bother with anything else, and I drink water. That's it. I used to be like massive on fizzy drinks up until about 9 months ago. Then I was like, literally, I woke up. I was like, Scott, you're 45. You're drinking too much fizzy pop. The ADHD kicked in, and then that was it. It just consumed me. So I stopped. Tony says, "My G Porcrapes thinks the water dish is for dirt." I think they all do, Tony. I don't think it's just the one species.
Yeah.
If you leave them for 24 hours, this is another thing that used to confuse me as well. When I first started out, people used to mention like tarantulas burying water dishes, and I used to think, hold on a minute, that means you're letting your water dish dry out, and it's going to take about 2 to 4 weeks for it to get the water dish and actually bury it. 24 hours and it's done.
Do you know, I've got two little slings, Grandma Stola Poultras. I'm fed up filling up the water bowls and digging them out. It's like, do you know what? If you want it buried, have it buried.
I mean, there is we do speak about water bowls a lot, and I'll obviously move on in a bit, but there is a lot of people out there that don't use water dishes, but they still get the water inside the spiders by literally, putting the water into the substrate and then allowing the spider to drink out of the substrate like it would in nature, or spraying it real heavy so they've got puddles and doing the same. But I mean, once you see a big spider literally lie down, Tron's been a channel member for 20 months. Has it been that long, Tron? Wow. That's insane. Hey, Tron, the link's at the top if you want to join. Hey, Bolty. I think Bolty, I have an Ace Samani whose substrate is now 60% dishes. But yeah, wouldn't you see a big spider kind of straddle a large water dish and just plonk themselves down in it? And you watch that water disappear. It kind of makes me think, one, it wants to drink, obviously, but two, it's submerged like its whole underneath of its carapace into the water. So there's got to be a little bit more to actually just that spider drink it. And I know what a lot of people are going to say. They're going to say, like, Scott, they're not dogs, they're not humans. They don't have the same feelings, interactions, or sensations. But then, if that's the case, why would the spider submerge its whole carapace into the water instead of literally just putting its fangs in and going for a drink?
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's the unknown. They're doing it because they need it, or they obviously need it for some reason or another. Obviously we're just going by what we know. And as far as I'm concerned, with like nature and wild, is the amount we know is a very, very small percent. Very percent.
I mean, oh god, yeah. Amy says, "Gotta say though, the only water dish not being buried is the one I got from you at Bristol. Must be because it's purpley pink and pretty."
1 second, sorry. Want to have a truck in before me? So I am at work, so do excuse me.
No, you carry on.
He wants another truck in before me, apparently.
Hi Tim, sure got here about your STD results. Unfortunately, you tick every single box.
Jace. Yeah, I'd find out which one he wants, mate, because he phoned me an hour ago saying he wants another truck in before me.
What else have you guys seen or had bad advice of that you obviously now you've changed, but at the start you were like, actually, I'm going to follow that.
Oh, mate. Oh, exactly. Yeah, I don't know who it is though, mate, but yeah, they want someone else in. All right.
We'll get the cream out in the post. Oh, mate, I did it to my mate at work because you know yourself, lorry driving engineers. You're lucky if you see somebody for an hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's very much like, hi, yeah, fixed it, goodbye, sign there, see you later. So it's always good to have a chat. So he's gone up to a site and he's got his window down and he's got me coming through the speakers of the actual van. And I heard him go, "You right, mate?" And then I'm like, "Hello, mister." And I said his name. I says, "It's your doctor, Mr. Tasker." Says, "Unfortunately, you do have a severe case of VD and you will have to come into clinic this afternoon." Oh, mate, all I heard was boom, and then he phoned me back, and it's not 9 p.m., but he swore like you wouldn't believe, and then started laughing because he found it funny.
Do you know what? He's like where I am, where I work. The company, it's most of the warehouse staff are agency, and it's nothing against agency staff, but they don't get sense of humour. And one of them the other day, he lost counting some items on a pallet so many times. I looked at him. I went, "Why don't you take your shoes off?" And he looked at me all confused and was like, "What do you mean?" I went, "Take your shoes off. It'll help you count." He took his shoes off and stood there barefooted in the warehouse. And I just looked. Everyone else is wetting themselves, and I'm just looking at him, just going, "Jesus Christ! You know, you need some help, mate."
It's, I mean, for me, it's probably the same for you. When you go onto a building site or you go to a depot, there's, you know, in the last 20 years, the amount of different cultures has increased. So
Yeah.
it's trying to work out people's sense of humor from around the world when they're in front of you and you're going, one, I'm a Gen X, so I'm pretty much very insensitive. Or so you're very insensitive when it comes to jokes.
Yeah.
Technically, you know, and some of mine, like, I have to calm them down because they could be perceived as being extremely offensive. So I have to think, hold on, Scott, it's 2024. Can you say that and people will still find it funny, or can you not? And I've constantly got that going on in my mind. And now we've got, hold on, this person's from there, so that means they won't actually have a sense of humour as we perceive. It's so difficult.
Donna, can I make a bottom opening enclosure? Of course I can. Of course I can. That's not an issue.
Scott, genuine question. I wondered, no offense. Amy, you can ask me offensive questions. If you think a question is going to be an offensive for me, or you think it's having a go at me, whack it in there anyway. I will answer anything. Does not bother me.
There's always a fence that Scott can jump on.
I've wondered, no offense by this, but I've always heard tarantulas and spiders and stuff are really sensitive to sprays and chemicals and aerosols. But I see you and other people vape around them. Does it not affect them? I've had zero effect on the spiders by vaping so far. I think the problem lies in aerosols more than anything. I mean, when Dave came on alive, when me and him were chatting about it as well, and both of us was very much like, where's the majority of your house spiders that you see? They are generally underneath the kitchen sink, webbing up a
Yeah.
bleach bottle or webbing up another spray or something like that. The only spray that I have in here is water and my vape, which is flavourings and vegetable oils, I think, and plus the nicotine. But the majority of the nicotine, I would assume, would be absorbed by my body before it came out. But I've never had any issues around the spiders. Would I blow it directly at them or into their enclosures? Of course not. Where I blow it this way, it's actually the work area, so there's nothing like on the surface that way. There is down below. There is like lower down, but that's kind of covered. But even when we were in the kitchen, we had no issues. And I've heard the same people with smoking as well having, they've been smoking around their animals, spiders, and not seen an issue.
No, when I had all the reptiles at home, me and the wife smoke, and the reptiles were in the lounge where we smoked. Never had an issue. Not once.
But it's a really sticky one for myself, because if somebody said, you do it, should I do it? The answer is always going to be no. Because, I mean, there's always potential. Amy says, I don't vape myself, but I've always been curious. But that's it. I mean, I've never had any issues, never seen any issues. And I think to run an experiment could be quite cruel on the animal, because you would have to literally have them in a container with vape. Do you know what I mean? You'd have to literally blow it into that container. And then you'd also have to monitor them over 10 years. You'd also have to have a comparison next to it, literally from slings, to see if there's any difference in the growth. And then you'd have to look at pairing them both as well as, and seeing if the pairings go successful and if the slings are all successful and the quantities of both as well as. So it would be a long investigation. There is nothing out there currently that I've seen to say that these affect them. What might be a good idea is to chat to the BTS committee and see if they can't do an investigation into the chemicals that are involved in a vape that actually come out when you blow it out, and see if they can have a negative impact. Tony for the smoke, just not in the room. Yeah, I mean, I don't vape daily in here, that's for sure. I do on lives because anxieties and stuff. So to remain nice and calm, I will vape my head off. He said she does, but she's only got the royal to do smoke, just not in the rooms.
Yeah. To be honest, I like going. Just thinking when I had the shop, obviously certain chemicals we used in the shop would keep away from the inverts. But to be fair, we used to spray everything pretty much.
I mean, even when you think about it, the amount of places that I've seen spiders, and you think, my God, there's an oil spill, and you're literally living above it. Or or you've gone into an abandoned building when you were a kid, and there was loads of oil or a substance all congealed together, and you've got spiders living kind of in and around it.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder how actual sensitive they are.
I think they're a lot more muddier than what people think. I can remember, when we had the shop where the invert room was, that got bleached daily, if not twice a day. And so on and so forth. The room that was right next door to it, that used to have insecticide put on it quite often. We never had an issue.
The thing with the insecticide, you just must have followed procedure and been really careful.
Yeah, I think you've got to be careful when you're using certain chemicals, especially insecticide around them. But yeah, we used to use the insecticide smoke bombs. Never had an issue. I don't think we ever lost one that we can categorically say it was because of the insecticide.
I don't do wax melts in that room or incense sticks. Hey, Tony.
Yeah. You got to do what you feel safe. I think, if you don't want to do it because you're not happy doing it, then you don't do it. You've got to feel comfortable in your decision.
I think when it comes to incense sticks, I think in my mind I'm thinking jury out. I'm going to advise everybody to not do it. Obviously, but if you think about it this way, if there's a forest fire, which a forest fire would contain everything that's in an incense stick, and the authorities come along and they put it out on this line, does that mean where the smoke's been across into the jungle and everything, all this side of it, all the spiders and the inverts are dead? If that's oh my god. No, it doesn't, does it? Because obviously there'd be no spiders left. Having
No.
said that, I mean, how many times have you had a campfire? Moths are flying around it, and they're completely fine until they get fascinated by the flame and actually fly into the flame itself.
Yeah.
Donna says, never thought of it like that, Scott. I am an out of the box thinker. I do apologise, but you ask these questions, and you're on my live, so you know where I'm going to go. April and Mike, when I worked at exotic vets, a lot of reptiles suffered from respiratory issues due to their owners smoking or using plugins, etc. There you go.
Can I just ask a question on that? Just like Scott, I'll think outside the box. How can you definitely say that it was due to people smoking or plugins, etc., etc.? And that's not a dig at you and what you're saying. I'm just asking out of pure curiosity.
Because wasn't there a snake bedding that caused respiratory issues?
No, so you got aspen. So aspen naturally can be quite dusty. It's a horse bedding, basically. The stuff I use tends to be triple extracted, so I've taken as much as I can away from it. But again, it comes down to husbandry, I do believe. If you put royals on aspen, it's not going to be fantastic because they require more of a damp substrate.
Craig's been telling them for 21 months. Cheers, Cringe.
Because we told them to take them away or not smoke around them, treated them, and then the issue stopped.
So if the issue's been treated, what, medically? All right, so I'll assess that. So if it's been treated medically and they've stopped smoking and it's not came back, therefore the enclosure is still the same, mold levels, etc., and all that would still be the same in the house. And then, yeah, that would lead me to the same conclusion.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that.
You can't really, I can't question that really, because again, in my mind, everything that I can possibly think of that could cause a respiratory issue is either not there or is still there. And the only thing that they've taken away after treatment is the plugins or the smoking. But surely with smoking and the plugins, isn't that going to cause like a chemical reaction inside the snake's throat, lungs, etc.? Or what symptoms were they displaying? Typical respiratory symptoms, or were they displaying a respiratory symptom that coincides with a kind of a chemical irritation or chemical damage, if you like?
Sometimes it was bedding, sometimes it was husbandry. When you question it, it wasn't always smoking up against. Yeah, I was going to say a lot of snake, like especially with snakes and tortoises, it tends to come down to husbandry issues. I would say more than anything else. But something I'm looking to actually, because that has interested me.
I mean, I've kept a few snakes over the years and what have you, but I've never been massively into them. So that, I mean, we've got the likes of yourself and Phil and other people and Cam, Welsh Morphology, around us, and Dan Richardson and others, to go and kind of ask when we get the snake issue. So I'm literally just trying to look at it with Scott logic. But I think if I had a snake and I took it to a vet and I said, we've got a respiratory issue with my snake again, and the vet said, do you smoke around it? Yes. Do you use these chemicals around it? Yes. Right. Well, they might not have caused it, but it's already had a respiratory issue. So surely going forward, they're going to have anything that can affect their lungs on negatively is going to impact them worse than if they'd never had that respiratory issue in the first place. So if the vet said, don't smoke and don't use these chemicals, I think if you love your pet, you're going to listen to them and go, okay.
Yeah, of course you are. Reptiles in general, once they get an RI, it tends to be they will get another one at some point. And it is quite receptacle, whatever that word is, to come back. So on and so forth. But I'm going to have a look into smoking and the plugins around reptiles, because I must admit, that has really intrigued myself.
Let me just see if a friend is about.
Are you coming to Peterborough, Scott?
I am.
Mouse in the chat. Who is doing Peterborough? Yeah, friend Scott. I promised myself I need to start being nicer to people. Nice.
I've got a very small amount of non-spider people that are like very small. A couple of them are now like work colleagues as well, as I must say. Everybody else, I'm just like, nah. I used to be like forgiving for absolutely everything, and now I'm very much like, you're a fucking idiot. Move out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Get onto your. I mean, I know it's not 9 p.m. I did swear, but it's literally what goes through my mind. I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
I ain't got time.
First show, and I need an enclosure. Well, make sure you pop by. Mention Scott's YouTube channel, and I'll sort you out.
Oh,
anyone that mentions you
hey,
gets one way or another.
do you know what? If a seller, we've known each other for a long time, but if there's any sellers watching, if a seller comes and says, Scott, this is a product, what do you think? And I go, yeah, it's pretty damn good actually. And then they say, can we do some sort of discount code? I'm automatically thinking, that means, because when I started, there wasn't really discount codes. You didn't really hear discount codes. And I was always thinking the enclosures that I wanted were always like, 10, 15, 20, 25 pound out of my reach. So that discount code means that, if there's another Scott out there thinking the same kind of thing, they can now go, yeah. Okay, we'll have that one.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're going to save more subscribers money, happy days.
Yeah, but no, 100%. Anyone, I'll always help out where I can. But I will say now, anyone that's going to the last show, which I think's Brighton.
I just want to double check something with you negatively, because I know what you like, because you like good feedback and bad.
100%.
Oh, right, so this, for anybody watching, because I know a lot of you see me get the spider out and then you questioned it. So Tim's actually here. So this isn't a product that's made by Tim at all. Tim doesn't make this product, doesn't use any of the glues for this product. The acrylic is not his. Tim imported it and said, Scott, test it out and see what you think. The hexagon.
Yes.
So I had a mantis, and it kept it really, really damp, and now the door's warped.
Interesting.
On your products, I've had 0 warping.
Okay.
Does it still function? Yes, it does. It's just a little bit warped.
All right, I'll have to have a look at that because I've got some set up at home and haven't had any issues.
That's it. Look.
What's going on? I was going to say you can't even flip it round because of the magnets, can you?
No, and it's got a very fast spider in there, so I don't really want to take the front off. But to be fair, it's warped, and you can stick it out the bottom if you want to. But I was showing a spider on screen, and somebody said in the comments, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Right, I'll tell Tim." Seeing as you're here, there you go.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's well, at the end of the day, that's feedback that I will feed back to my manufacturer because that's something I don't want. Yeah.
Question: is it better to order online and use Scott's code, or buy at a show, saving us?
Right. That's so. It's up to you. If you want it quick, go via the website and use the code. If you're happy to wait, it will be cheaper at the shows, even after using Scott's code. Bear with us 1 second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, buddy.
Can I get a higher?
Shut up. I am. Yeah. Come on.
Just don't ask what's in the back of the cab.
So yeah, or anyone that is
Hold on. What, Amy? I don't. What, Scott? You know I have BDFB. What's BDFB? I need a few enclosures. I'm trying to wait, says Tony.
Tony, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to just pick anyone on here. If you need a few enclosures, drop me a message on the business page, and if you need them urgently, I'll sort it out. But obviously, bearing in mind, you are going to have to pay for postage. But on that, if anyone can really wait until Brighton, there is going to be up to 40% off near enough everything.
Oh, you're having a bit of good sale at Brighton.
Yes, I need to clear all stock from this year. There's reasons behind that. We are dropping a whole new line for next year, which is going to be completely different to what we've done this year.
Are you still keeping the hap tanks?
So yes, there is certain tanks that won't be changing. Hap tanks, the terrestrials, the mini terrors. No, the mini terrors are changing. So the only ones that aren't changing is a new 45-45 that's coming out. Bungalows and the 6s and the 4s, they're all staying the same. But all the small, medium, larges that are banded are all coming out. So they're stackable. They're coming out with better doors. They're all acrylic hinge this time instead of little tabs and so on and so forth. The coffins, I've always got the coffins. I've still got in excess of 1,000 of them in stock. The coffins will not be on a discount. Do I do snake racks? I do. And I do vivariums.
Do you do the ones with the elastic bands that clip together?
Yeah, the banded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already do them.
Tim, I need a lot of enclosures. Just a shame shipping to Norway costs an arm and a leg.
So I have just shipped some stuff to Norway and it wasn't that bad. And I managed to do it where I say you, the person that brought it didn't get hit with import. So there's ways around everything, Trump.
Charlotte's messaged somebody. Might have been you, I don't know.
No problem at all.
I have one I got off Amazon. Bands are snapping.
No offence, they or who likes them acrylic in my room.
He's got glass, everything.
Oh, too much. It leaks after a while. If you use banded is going to leak. As simple as you can't get a thingy on it. Scott's got a video, I think, of me putting over 5 kilos of water in one of my glued enclosures.
That was in the haplo tank, wasn't it?
Was indeed.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, there's water coming out of that. It was coming out the air holes.
It was literally coffins are staying 100%, and we will have bigger sizes for next year as well.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I've got to. I mean, I haven't bought one yet, but I've got to get a couple of haplos. Anyone do incubators? Looking for a smaller incubator puff for python eggs? I don't want to make one.
Nikki, simplest thing to do: polybox, heat mat, Habistat, mat stat, job done. About a tenner, 15 quid if you've already got all the parts.
I remember people doing polybox, fish tank heater, water, and then floating the box with the eggs in because of the humidity. She said no. She wants a posh one.
Yeah, wants a posh one. We can get them for you. But I think they're coming in at about 150 quid at the moment.
What did I get? I used their Lucky Reptile one many years ago, the egg-shaped one.
Yeah. See, they do that one. I personally preferred the Herp. Is it Herp Exotics? Not Herp Exotics. It's an Exoterra branded one. But it's got some little shelves. It looks like a little mini fridge.
She wants to buy one. Plug and play.
Plug and play. No problem. I'll tell you what. I'll make one for you out of a polybox, mat stat, and a mat.
Amy, the orb weaver passed away.
No, I didn't use white python, and I don't like white python.
Hey, Sergeant. It's annoying. Oh no, Amy, it re-webbed another area, and when it molted, and two of its legs were like they were like semicircle shaped around its body. And then literally 2 or 3 days after that, it passed away. So the only reason, any 20 by 20 by 30 discount to say, Osman, these are acrylics. Have you seen the price on stats lately? Yeah, so just going back, the legs were kind of wrapped like a semicircle around its body. And then it passed away a couple of days after that. It did shed the molt. So I'm up in the air to why it passed away. So at the moment, I don't think I'm going to. I don't know if it was a dodgy molt or if, because we were going through the summer, the humidities in here were changing. Maybe I didn't spray it on often enough. I was spraying it every 2 to 3 days. Maybe I should have sprayed it daily, kind of thing. Maybe because the humidity was up and down, maybe that was a cause of its death. So until I can kind of work out what happened in my own mind, I won't be getting another one. We didn't really have any cold drops in this room or anything like that either. So my mind's kind of stuck on that humidity side of it. You know what I mean? I'll see you later, Tony. But I do really want to do it again. 100% I want to do it again. So whether that means I spray it daily, therefore I've got to come into the spider room every single day, that might be cool. Or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, hey Leah. Shall we go back to bad advice that we all received when we first started the hobby? And when I talk about the hobby, I'm not just saying inverts, the inverts, reptiles, because I think everybody in chat kind of got a mixed bag of people who keep reptiles and inverts or one or the other or whatever. Bad advice that you got when you first started out. We've covered a few, but yeah, so we'll go from that. I might, because this is just a chilled one. I might do a mini giveaway in a little while, but the giveaway, you won't receive the prize from it until the end of the month when I get paid, which is the 26th. Leah does keep a zoo. Leah might be able to answer that reptile question actually on whether smoking around reptiles and plugins affect them negatively. Maybe she can back up what Mike was saying earlier. Heat mats on the bottom of snails and millipede tanks. Oh, jeez, that advice is literally going to cock millipedes and snails left, right, and centre. I know a lot of people opt for heat mats and stuff like that, but my God, if you can get your ambient temperature up in that room, it's so much better. My advice was told that there is some dodgy bloke on YouTube has a fake ginger beard. There's been a fair few nasty things said about me over the years. Osman says, bad advice when started. Oh God, where do I start? He says, sponge in a water bowl, heat mat, change substrate monthly. If you're fine, your spider is fine temperature wise. Yeah, we actually covered that one at the start, Osman. And I was saying, like, when I first started, that's exactly what I did with temperature. I was just like, we kept them in the front room. If the front room was cold, but I was all right, they're all right. If it was really hot day, I was hot, but I was fine. So with the spiders. So it weren't until I started looking like real in depth at them that I started thinking, hold on a minute, I'm sitting in 18 degrees and this one wants like 27, 28. Water dishes with sponges in the water bowl. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest ones that gets talked about is the sponges in the water bowl. I can't really think of, apart from maybe for ants, any invert that would actually have that as a positive in their enclosure. Heat mats. Oh gosh, yeah. Change the substrate monthly. Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine changing the substrate on all your enclosures monthly? Leo says, I always try not to use anything that could cause harm, but they are similar to any pet. Obviously, smoking going to have a bad effect on pet. We try to use natural scents, etc. I won't use aerosols because it's bad for us and it's bad for them. I don't know. I think if you smelt me at the end of a real hard day, I think you'd urge me to use aerosols. But yeah, bad advice. And those cricket keepers, my God, did I kept 2 or 3 spiders in those cricket keepers when I first started out as well. And then when I started looking at humidity, I realised how shockingly crap those actual cricket keepers actually are. I hated them that much. I didn't even throw mine away or anything. I just burnt them. I had a fire one day with a load of other stuff and just chucked them on there. I absolutely hated them. Craze carpet would be covered. I've had to change the substrate all the time. Osman said, I was smoking my trench room, never had a problem. To be honest, it's not chemical smoke. Burning plastic would be bad smoke, but smoking hasn't done anything to my spiders yet. Yeah, I get that. There is a roll on and spritz, but if we do use sprays, it's in the bathroom. Yeah, we tend to spray in the bedroom and the bathroom, but there's no animals upstairs. Yes, Nameless, you're right, bro. I'll put the link in if anybody wants to pop up. Just literally having a chilled one tonight. I might do a little bit of a giveaway in a bit if I can get the giveaway tool to work. If not, I'm gonna have to do like a random number generator type of thing. Where are we? Let's have a quick look. Ooh, let's go to my account. No, things aren't working there. StreamYard on my laptop is not. Hey, Derek is not having any of it today. Where's a giveaway tool on StreamYard? Hopefully this one works. No, don't want a destination. Go. Oh, I can't find it. Too technical for you, Scott. No, it's just that I completely forgot. It's StreamYard. Is it a StreamYard giveaway tool? Something like that. I can't remember. We'll just do it a different way. Give me 1 sec. Hey Moon. Yeah, okay. The giveaway will be UK only. So, but if you do win and you want to donate it to somebody in the UK, it's completely fine. Basically, we'll do a small one, but like I said, it won't. My side of it, anyway, certainly will not go out or be delivered or anything until my pay, which is in 16 days' time, 26. Yeah, you're always in a bath on the Tuesday. Always in a bath on the Tuesday. Don't use lots of substrate, or you will never see your tarantula. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. The amount of people that say like, "Oh, it's fossorial, but I want to see my spider, so I'm going to put it in this much substrate." I mean, come on. I love, yeah, tubs of dirt, literally trapdoor spider in that one. But that's it. Why would you want to take them out of something that's natural and stick them in literally an enclosure which is not natural? You know, have somebody staring at them all day, every day, which is not natural. And then on top of that, reduce their dirt from like this much, like literally down to that much, just so they've got a hide a water dish and they web a lot, then don't they? And then you can see them. Well, Nikki is in the UK. Yeeby. I have a shelf of jars and dirt, says Craig. Well, I think even with fossorials, when Scott, you have many ant colonies in home. Derek, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 now. 4. Leah says, give all my tarantulas a couple of inches of substrate minimum, unless tiny. Yeah, the fossorials, even with the boreals, sorry, you still want to try and give them a little bit more, because I mean, Leah will tell you as well, because I know she's bred Sarmapaeus, but things like Sarmapaeus, they will go down and make a burrow at the bottom of that cork bark. So the cork bark will be coming down there, then their burrow will expand around the bottom. But when you feed them, you only ever see them coming out the top of the cork bark, so you just assume that they live in that cork bark section. I need less of that movement, eh? You just assume that they live in that cork bark section, whereas really they're going down into a burrow at the bottom. I was once told if your terrestrial fossorial tarantulas climbs the walls of its enclosure, it's possessed and you should rehome it. Really? Osmond said my Sabar blue subadult female lives underground, same as a Hattie Hattie. Yeah, my Hattie Hattie had an egg sac underground. The Valhalla, she's burrowed down underground. My Sabar blue subadult female, she's got a little bit of a burrow, Osmond, but she hasn't made a complete one. She just literally, where the cork bark is, she just hides in it and just does not come out. I have to shine a light in there to make sure she's still alive, kind of thing. She won't come out for food, so I have to put food and just drop it in and then listen to grunch it, and I have to spray the back wall so it goes down into where her cork bark is and where she hides and everything. Liz Hattie Burrows needs rehouse, but I'm dreading it.
You fucking cunt.
You taking over from Chris?
I told you I would say it.
You okay?
Yeah.
Nikki's got a 3 foot by 1 foot by 1.6 foot high mesh lid sliding glass doors. What would you keep in it? A 3 foot roach colony? Or a multi-species tank would be nice in that. Leah said, Donny, a beaut. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock, so we will swear. We will have adult conversations. So if you've got any children watch, please remove them. You know the drill by now. Osmond's mine made a tunnel and lives opposite corner of the enclosure from where the bark is. Osmond, has it made the tunnel from the bottom of the bark going all the way across underneath the enclosure? That'd be pretty cool.
I've got 2 vegans and it's like just hiding under the dark.
And they're a terrestrial spider.
Mm-hmm.
We need to use the words terrestrial, arboreal, fossorial, but at the same time, it's fucking bullshit at the same time. Because you get a Mexican spider, let's say you get a rosea or something like that, and they always hold on, there you go, Nikki. They always say, "Hey, Chris, you use this much substrate, give them a hide, and that's it." My original curly hair, when I paired her, she then burrowed down in substrate of like 4 or 5 inches and had her egg sac down there. And then even months after the egg sac had been and gone and we'd had the slings and everything, she still had that burrow and still lived down there.
My curly hair's I've got a juvie curly hair. She lives down underneath. It's mental.
Chris, you should come in on your other channel so people can hit you up with a subscription.
Good idea.
On both the channels. So you've got your Chris Hale Hart and then you've got the addiction one as well. Like earlier, if you look from one side, it looks like an empty tub of dirt, but if I turn the enclosure, it's got a burrow with a window by the side of the enclosure. Ah, that's cool. Is that Chris's other channel link? Yeah,
it will be.
Oh.
I'll try for the PC.
My laptop. Oh my god.
The first one's Chris Hale Art. And so's the second one. I don't know.
There we go. I've got a really old. Well, I say I've got. My best friend does house clearances and stuff like that, and he was like, "Scott, there's somebody's literally throwing away GoPro 5." He was like, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd love it." Yeah. I tried to hook it up to my laptop as a better camera. It just freed my phone up, so I could do other stuff on the stream with my phone and stuff like that. But yeah, my laptop just won't run it. It's just too old and too knackered. A bit like me. Animals Addictive is Chris Hale Art, so give him a subscription. Fairly newish channel, just come out. Did was it the IHS visit where he bought some new animals. I've also seen the Beatles shorts that he's done as well. Go hit him up. Spread the love.
Yeah, definitely.
Always spread the love. How long have you been keeping spiders for now, Dom?
March.
Since March of this year?
Yeah.
How much bad advice have you kind of been told
Quite a lot.
since you started?
Quite a lot. The usual ones like spraying them and oh, what was the other one? Spraying. I'm looking at it, trying to think at my spiders, but I'm like, fuck.
We were. Hey, Mark, you're okay? Tarantula Halla. We were talking about humidity and spraying spiders of the day. I can't remember if it was in a live or what it was, but they're on about. Well, I said to them, like, if you get a small bottle, so especially with fossorials, if you get the small, imagine this is a small, I don't know, lemonade bottle or something. You can cut the bottom of it half, put that down to your bio balls in the bottom of your enclosure, and then you can put your substrate in all the way up to there. You screw your lid like that back onto the top, put a bit of dirt over it so you can't see it. And when you come around to water, you can tap it off, open it up, put the water in, and it will fill up the bio ball space and then come up through the substrate.
That's quite a good idea, actually.
I originally did it with scorpions. When I did the humidity with scorpions video, and what I did in that video was a mistake because I did it that way. And I was like, hold on a minute. If you go this way, you can then stop any dirt going down it. And I thought, you absolute idiot, why didn't you just do that to start with? And with today's bottle lids, like Amy was saying, they don't, they do click on unless you're like me and snap them off. So you can just fold them back over. And you've always got an emergency water dish in enclosures at the same time as well.
Yeah, snap the lids off and cut the wee jaggy bit and then file it.
What's that saying? You have to handle them a lot, slings, or they will be bitches as adults. Oh my god, Amy, that is bad advice. Derek, I have H. gigas in Exoterra, 45 by 45, and the substrate about 20 centimeters. Female dig in tunnel along the wall throughout its entire length and width. She's just finished and getting back to where she started. Oh my god. That kind of makes me think with Geigers and some of the bigger fossorials. I wonder if we gave them like a 4 foot in-depth enclosure, whether they would actually go all the way down to the bottom of it. I mean, obviously we chatted to Tim about the haplo tanks, and he's doing them. I think they're 30 inches tall. They are, so you can get like 25 inches of substrate in them. I wonder if he could do like a 60-inch one as an experiment to see if the Geigers will actually go all the way down to the bottom of it. I mean, I know what people are thinking, but in the wild, it's to do with the heat on top and the temperature of the burrow. But I'm wondering if they just literally, as well as, will just keep going down. Strokes, when that fish tank's happening, Scott, been over a year now. Strokes, I've got the fish tank. I have the fish tank. It's just money's holding me back because I've got other things going on in the background that is not to do with the channel. Basically, it's just money. So I've got I think it's 3 by 18 tall by 12 back. I think it is. My pet are off the pods. That name there is banned from my channel because I think he's an arsehole. I used to follow him, and then he upset my daughter by coming to his show and ignoring her. So I don't have anything to do with him. To the point where I had to go and have a go at him. Yeah. So Strogs, sorry, dude. Yeah, we have got the 3 foot fish tank. I'm working out if I can put it in here and still have room for everything that I want, everything else I've got. What I want to put in here, I think I'll still have room for all that as well as. I mean, I've still got plenty of wall space and racking space and stuff like that. Night Craig, take care. But I'm up in the air to what to do with that tank. I need to get a return pump and some filtration for it, and that's basically it. It's good to go. And then obviously fill it with fish or whatever. But Shrugs, the amount of things that's gone through my mind, and you guys know what I'm like, so I've gone from Plex to Malawi to thinking about saltwater stuff, marine fish. I went to a Chinese it's like a supermarket, but they also supply all the restaurants, but the public can go in there. So it's like a Chinese trade center, and they sell live lobsters and live crabs, and the crabs are like this big, but they're like, I think they're a 10 or a kilogram, so they're probably about 30 quid each, and they've got them all, and the water that they're in is highly filtered and it's absolutely immaculate. But I was looking at them and I was thinking, we could save 2 of them and put them into that tank and have literally just like 2 mean crabs in that fish tank. I know. Yeah, don't do marine; it'd cost a fortune. But if you do marine, you've just got 2 crabs. You just got fish. Then you don't need the skimmers. You don't need half the stuff that you normally would do in there. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of that's to do with the corals. The specialist lighting's to do with the corals.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking a load of coral rock in the bottom, with some bio balls, with some sponges. The sponges, literally, do you know when you buy dishwasher sponges for doing the washing up, a pack of like 20 for like 2 quid? Those ones going into the filter. Get the marine water from the local marine shop, fish shop. Fill it up, and put a crab or 2 in there. Maybe put 2 big hides in there so they can go into each other. We'll see.
We also used calcium socks.
Calcium socks, yeah, and charcoal socks. Yeah, and literally that would be a pair of my socks with the charcoal going in, because then you can replace it a lot cheaper than what you normally would do.
Yep.
Leah says, "Oh, another bad advice was heat stones and calcium sand for reptiles. Both need to be banned from the hobby for keeping." Pardon me for my ignorance, Leah, but what's the problem with calci sand? Is that like calci sand as a substrate, or they might 2 crabs might be dodgy? They might fight a lot. Would they fight if they were male and female?
My husband went out yesterday and goes, not yesterday, the other day, and goes, I'm just going out for an 8 or 9 inch plec. Comes back with an 18-inch plec. The thing is like a dinosaur.
What's that, common plec?
Yeah, the common one. I've got a rubber nose plec, but it's like tiny.
Was it the Bristol nose?
I'm not sure. I've not actually had a good look at it.
Well, we used to breed plex. So L999, which is the clowns, we used to breed those. No, L666 is the clown. Sorry, I think L999 the zebras.
Something like that.
It's been over 10 years, so I'm relying on memory that's not brilliant. But my friend used to breed the zebras. If that 3-foot tank, if somebody said, Scott, here's a shitload of zebra plex for like dirt cheap, then that's exactly what you would be. But they are. I don't think. Yeah, that's a really expensive route. Oh, Leah says calcium sand. They use it as a substrate. Causes so many issues. It causes overdosing calcium, and can cause digestive issues as well. Mad, isn't it? When you look at certain things and people come up with these ideas, they know they're dodgy like that, and they carry on selling it just for. Chris says, depending on the crabs, I think emerald crabs should be okay, and we keep hundreds of them in the fish house when I work for the Tropical Marine Centre. Oh, Chris, mate, I don't know what these are. These are like this. They must be a good 7 or 8 inches across. They're absolutely massive. But even if I had one, it'd go in there, it'd chill, it'd do its thing. I know a lot of people buy marine fish tank, put marine and corals in there. I just think the idea of having a massive crab in there would be absolutely awesome. And we would have saved it getting munched. You know, I'm always the same. If I go out somewhere and there's a field of cows, I'm very much I can't eat beef that day. You know, if and then look at the little crab, thinking you're going to get smashed. It's the same thing. I'm like, I wonder if you could come home with me. But yeah, so the fish tank shrug is just literally I've just got to buy substrate. I've got to get buy a return pump, and that's the actual fish tank up and running and moving around. The blue lobster strogs that they've got in there as well. They're about this. So they're about 2-3 kilogram. They were £30 a kilogram. So that's like best part of £100 for the lobster.
Mhm.
Unfortunately. Although that could be a bloody good idea. A big fat lobster in there. Oh yeah, reptile carpet as well, it says Leah. Oh, I remember seeing that stuff and thinking, what the fuck's this? Leah's been a channel member for 29 months. And said, bloody hell, how? How's that been 29 months?
That's over 2 years.
Sorry?
That's over 2 years.
I know, yeah. Doesn't feel like I've been. Well, what's that? 12, 24. Is that 2 years, 2.5 years? Didn't realise it's been monetised that long. Yeah, when I went in there, I bought a few little bits. I did think about taking a picture of the crabs and the lobsters, but I thought they might be a bit funny me doing that. Still think any saltwater tank would take a lot of time. It would, Strogs. It would, but I'm in here all the time anyway. I'm faffing around half the time. Half the time I come in here and go, oh, I'm doing feeding, and the wife's like, you were doing feeding yesterday, and the day before, and the day before. And I just say that just so I can come down. Not like she'd mind anyway, but it's just easier for me to say feeding than explain, oh, I'm going down because I want to move some enclosures out to wash them, put them back in, and then I want to hoover the carpet, and then I want to stare at this wall for a bit longer to come up with some more ideas, or I'm just doing feeding. I could go freshwater then. If it goes freshwater, then yeah, it's another toss-up. There is between like Tanganikis or Malawis or birches and eels. Well, I do fancy. Sorry,
I love Malawis.
Malawis are beautiful. It's getting decent Malawi, especially in Coventry, because there's quite a. It could go brackish. You could get some true parrotfish. They're brackish, but then Malawi's brackish as well. But if you're looking at brackish with the oak leaves and such and all that type of stuff in there as well, then you could go discus, as they actually would be set up in the wild, but then they'd probably lose colour at the same time, but they would be healthier fish.
What about stingray?
Chris said the bigger the tank, the easier and less you have to do. Yeah, that's because if you've got a small reef tank, a tiny mistake is a big, huge mistake. But if you've got a lot of water, a tiny mistake isn't nowhere near as big a mistake as if it would have been in a smaller tank. Tanzanican cichlids you don't see much nowadays. I do, Chris. I can.
What about freshwater ray?
Tanganiki, Malawi, Victoria. You can get a lot of those around the Midlands. There's a lot of breeders throughout the Midlands for them. But again, it's like the parents are being bred with their great grandchildren now and stuff like that. So even things as common as yellow labs, over the last 20 years, they don't. They still look like a yellow lab, but they're nowhere near as bright as what they used to be. Hi, Aaron. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some sort of or I could go RO water, because I haven't got the room in the house to do the RO setup, but the tackle, well, the aquatic shop is 5-minute walk, 2-minute drive for RO, and then go discus. That might be good, because that might help my brain just relax when I coming here. Because that fish tank would be, the fish were in there, but the discus would just be like slowly going past the window. That could be cool. Or maybe we should get the pump for it, get it all set up, get it running, and then go from there. I've got an RO set up under my sink. Yeah,
Me too.
Under my sink, mate, there's about 1,020,000 fucking sprays and bleach and fucking God knows what else she's stuck under there. Although I could put a water supply in here pretty easy and put the RO unit in here and have it on a drip feed to a barrel outside. That could be possible. The enemy would whinge like fuck though if I set it up in the garden as well, but fuck it. If needs must, I can sacrifice. Yeah. I mean, it's such a shame. I've got a couple of friends, and they both, well, they share the hobby together, but they've got I've got 12x7 in here. They must have 3 sheds that are 12x7, and each one is marine setups, and it's all mainly corals, and then they've got the clownfish to go in with the corals. But they've even got one of the tanks, so you watch it, and like the front bit's about this deep, and then the corals are half in and half out the water, and they've got it so the waves come over the top. They won't let me film any of it because they're very, very private people. I think it's because they're gay and they're quite old, so they're like, I say quite old. They're like coming to mid-60s, so I think that they used to have a lot of crap about personal life years ago, and they've just carried on. You know what I mean? So they're very, 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 very private people. So they won't let me film it, unfortunately. It'd be absolutely amazing if I could. What's up with your car, Chris? Mud skippers. Don't know about mud skippers. Could get the killifish, the ones that lay the eggs in the substrate, and then literally the top of the substrate dries out, and then water comes back, and then they come back again. Well, they would be lost in a 3-foot.
What's the biggest tanks you've had, Scott?
Sorry?
What's the biggest tank you've had?
I had a 6-foot by 3x3.
Nice.
Hey, Jason. Oh, Chris had a crash on the way home from work. Oh, shit.
Oh, I hope you're all right.
Chris, you all right?
Erin's asking if you can come up for a bit, Scott.
Maybe later. I want the channel positively. forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, but I've still got a lot of friends still in the fish keeping hobby that made 10, 15 years ago when I had 15 tanks running. So I can still phone people, message people, and see where certain fish are and stuff like that, like we used to. I think my favourites to breed, were the Jaguars because, like shit, well, he bit me, and I'll never forget it. It didn't really hurt. Drew blood and everything, but I had to get him out because he was attacking the female, so he had to come out. But yeah, that was good. Electric Jack Dempsey's, electric blue Jack Dempsey's, as well as normals. Bred those. Malawis, you put any species Malawi in a tank, do a water change, and then they'll start doing the little shakes to one another. He's fine. Oh, good. Car should hopefully get fixed up. Well, that's it, dude. You can fix a car. You know what I mean? You can replace a car. But I had catfish. Stupidly bought a red tail catfish. Well, about this big. And
Somebody offered me one the day. I was like,
sorry?
no. Someone offered me one the day. I was like, nope.
Well, I grew it out until about 1.5 feet. And then I decided I better do my research. I mean, this is like I said, years and years ago.
Yeah.
And then discovered they can grow like 3, 4, 5 foot long, and I was like, oh my god. But there's a lad. Well, I say a lad. There's a bloke over in Nuneaton, and he's got a heated pond. So that's where it is, and he's probably got 8 or 9 of them in there now. He's got some massive Pangeas in there as well. But that's literally what he used to do, was rescue the bigger catfish when they were too big for people. The biggest fish tank I've moved was an 8 foot. That was 8 foot by, I'm pretty sure it was 3 by 3. Amy says, what's the cat called?
Denzel.
Ginger takeover.
Yeah. Ginger cat, ginger dog. Will you stop it? Can't I stop it here in 11?
Just as anybody in chat got a pen and piece of paper, and that could help me out a lot. It will be an absolute pain in the bum for you, though, I must say.
Do you want me to do it?
Amy has. It's going to involve pausing the live, though, Amy. If Amy and if Amy and Charlotte, if you both do it, then we should be better off, because then we can double check and make sure that we've got everybody. So I want to do a little giveaway. It's going to be a £30 mystery box from the Spider Shop. I'll cover all costs, so it will be I'll cover the postage as well as. But I won't be able to pay for it until the 26th of this month. So you won't receive it until, I don't know what date the 26th is, but probably the following week. If you guys are up for that. Plus, Tim says he wants to put in one of his small acrylic enclosures as well. So my pet and arachnopods, I've been thinking about doing something for a little while, because when I do open mic night, everybody that's here is here. If I do a giveaway, suddenly we go from 25 watching to 100. When I have Dave on, suddenly we go from 25 to 100 people watching. Do you know what I mean? So it's you guys that are here now that mean more to the channel's progression than on a giveaway night. Do you know what I mean? So that's what of course you can still enter. So the way I want to work it is, I mean, it's UK only, but if you're outside of the UK, you can enter. Just give it to somebody that's in the UK. Because I know Osmond does that quite a lot. If he wins the stuff in the UK, he'll pass it straight on to somebody else in the UK. And Tron's done it in the past as well. But what, the 26th is a Wednesday? Yeah, exactly, Strogs. Exactly. People. I mean, it's nice to have a lot of people in the hobby here and doing a huge giveaway or doing the fundraising like we did with Kevin. I mean, I absolutely love that. But I also want to remember the people that are here every single week and week in, week out.
Yeah.
Because
26th Thursday.
because I gather, the majority of the likes and videos are probably from all you guys that are watching tonight as well. 26 is a Thursday, so if I paid for it on the 26th, it wouldn't be till the Tuesday afterwards, depending on what the Spider Shop's delivery dates are. So let's say if I get paid on the 26th, it'd be the following week from the 26th anyway. Oh, that'd be cool, Charlotte.
Get people to put a heart, and I'll just screenshot the number and number the MPs in that way.
Yeah, that is a good idea. But then once we've done that, what I'll do is get a random number generator up on my work phone. I'm sure work won't mind, and I'll spin it twice, and then we can get a winner for that and the small acrylic enclosure from Tim as well. The Spider Shop has trapdoor in, guys. Do they? Are you getting any trapdoors, Scott? Yeah. What do you got on? I've got one, and it's a pain in the bum. I've only ever seen it on a rehouse. I was actually gifted it off Jeremy because Jeremy only got the one, so he could never breed it. Doesn't know what sex it is. But a trapdoor is literally like that for most of the time, and the only time you'll see it is when it comes out for food. But what I've found is you pick it up, take the lid off, and I think it's getting disturbed. So it's like, should I be wanting to see what that is outside, or should I just stay in my home until this thing stops shaking? Hey Dave, you're right. Hey Nat. Yeah, that's what I think.
Hey, David, Nat.
See, Dave's been on the channel commenting on not only lives under a different name, his surname, and commenting on videos for 7 years, 6 years.
It was the cat. Type in, Susan.
Yeah, so we'll do those two, and then that'll wrap the evening up, I think. Because I've got 3 jobs already on my schedule for tomorrow morning. Yeah. Oh, I drove back to Coventry. My last job was in Oxfordshire, and the one before that was Aylesbury. Just covering for somebody else. So I'm like, why am I in this fucking area? Beautiful area, but it's just adds so much time onto your day to get back. But we're just waiting for the Coventry and Birmingham area to be built up by the new general manager. Fingers crossed. Hey, Amy.
You're going to come off, and I'm going to end up staying up half the night feeding slings.
So I'm lucky there. My slings are all with a friend. But my friend, everybody's seen him. They've seen him a couple of years ago in the old house when we had the timber racking built, and then he came round and did all this. Oh, thank you, Connor. Appreciate that. Connor says, I may not join in with the chat very often, but hear every live stream. Appreciate it.
Oh, hey.
Be surprised. I mean, never feel like you have to comment or anything. I'm quite happy with people chilling and watching because there's quite a few people kind of chatting, but then there's 31 watching.
That's what I normally do. I normally feed and then watch at the same time.
That's what I do with quite a few. I mean, I was watching Mark's and yeah, I didn't comment because I was in here, but just listening away. It's like when Leah's live on a Wednesday, it's just like you're listening to him in the background. And I mean, this sounds a bit big-headed, and I really don't mean it to be. But if you go in and say hello, suddenly the chat fills up with "Hello, Scott," and I don't like it.
A lot of people are like that.
Do you know what I mean? So I'll just listen and support that way just by watching. Amy says, Dave, when you ignore someone, usually you don't say it directly to the person you're ignoring. I saw that comment. He said, I'm ignoring you, Stroggs. Charlotte says she does the same. Stu, we already know you're a lurker.
He's always a lurker.
Stu. He'll comment, and then when I start saying Stu, because I can't do this Stu, the other bit very well, he disappears again. Goes back to lurking. Coventry's going to be an epic show this year. And it's Luke's other local show. So God knows what he'll be doing for Coventry. That should be pretty epic. Mind you, I'm pretty privy to chatting with Luke and his dad, and the stuff they've got coming in this year is going to just blow your socks off. Absolutely blow your socks off. And you don't just get, you think you can just go and get this stuff. No, you can't. You have to build up such a good reputation with people before you can even have a conversation about buying stuff.
Yeah.
And you've got to have like a reputation in the hobby, which Luke and his dad's like worked hard for and built up over the years to what it is now, you know. Amy says, so excited, 1 year anniversary of her first show. Is that the Coventry one? My first ever show was BTS.
I'm first from Scotland.
I rocked up thinking, I ain't going to be that big. And it was pre-COVID as well, so it was massive. And I think I queued outside for about 30 minutes before I got to the door. And I was like, okay. And all the European traders were there because it was pre the Brexit as well. And it was like, wow. And, you know, Uncle Bob, Fat Bob's, my God. He used to have some right cool stuff, but obviously can't come over anymore. Coventry was the first one as I got into the hobby in September. Chris said his first show, or their first show, because his partner as well, was the Capital show this year. That was such a big show. Such a big show. Scott, do you have any strings you can pull to get an invert species shipped to the UK from the USA? My pet and arthropods. Lee Arden from TSS is in the WhatsApp chat. You can always message him and maybe he can get the species in that you want and then you can get it from him. Amy says, I sneakily went to shows before joining the community. Ask Mitch from you sneaky little girl. It's just actually ask Mitch from Unseen. And she says, actually don't. My pets have been messaging shops, but they all shut me down every time, though they need to import their inverts themselves. My pet, drop me a message and drop me a message of the name of the invert. And I'll see if other people are looking for it. Because if they put one invert into their shipping, if it passes away, they lose money. But if there's 30 people all wanting the same invert, you know what I mean? Then they can, maybe they'll do it. Charlotte says, love Luke. He saved my ass at IHS. There's only one Luke. Literally one of the most kind-hearted men in the whole hobby. One of. There is a few. He's just not. He hasn't got a bad word to say about anybody. So, honestly, such a nice, kind soul. If you hear of Quitara going, PM me please. Quitara, who had Avicularia Quitara? Who had those? 3 people spring to mind, but Martin Lees, Kevin Bigley, and Luke.
I can't remember it being on Kevin's list.
I would drop Luke a message, because if he hasn't got any, he will probably know if there's any available in the UK. Kevin's just had another import come in, so his list has just changed. Just waiting for him to finish it off and get it out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, he come back. Was it Monday, from doing the challenge? He messaged. Was it Sunday? Can't remember. But it was about 2:00 in the morning. He got back to my message, and he'd literally just woke up from doing the 24-hour 3 peak challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But the first mountain, he said his knee was really hurting him, and I was a bit ruthless. I was a bit like, everybody that donated, mate, is going to be pushing you and pushing you. Just think of that and use that as strength and get through it. I was a bit like, you know what I mean? I thought, shall I just say, like, you can't quit now, dude. I don't care if your knees hurting, just crack on, get it done. But
Yeah.
he did. I don't know how he did it. Like I said, I just started sweating at the thought of it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I started sweating at the thought of the car journey to get there, let alone getting up the hills. I've been up Snowdon when I was 17, I think. 17, 18.
I've been up Nevis.
21 hours, wasn't it, Amy, that did it in? Whole group of them. Fucking amazing stuff. But I mean, if you message Kevin and he don't come back to you straight away, he's not a shy guy. He's just, yeah, he's a shy guy. You know what I mean?
Just takes 4 hours to answer you back.
Yeah, he will get back to you. You just got to give him a little bit of time. Chris's favourite show was BTS. Bristol was good, but the second room was too much. Yeah, I think my favourite was BTS. Well, my favourite shows, because one of them hasn't happened this year, but BTS, Coventry, then Bristol. 4th would be London. London show was just wow. It was just nicely set out. The venue was awesome. I'm hoping that they've got new tables for this year. Charlotte, are you all ready with the love heart pen? Yeah, Amy says BTS, Coventry, then Bristol. Wicked.
So, BTS next year.
Sorry?
Probably BTS next year.
You coming?
Yeah.
It's such a journey for me to get to BTS. Takes me 15 minutes in the car.
That's just been a dick, Scott.
Why is that not? Yeah, it takes me 15 minutes to get to BTS.
Hello.
Takes me less to get to Coventry show. Hey, Jason, you're right.
Yeah, you muted my mic for some reason.
I tried to get you in, and then I'm not quite sure what.
Your link you've posted doesn't work in your chat. If you click on it, it just sends you to your server, but it turns the camera off. I've had to put it in by hand. I've had a copy of the link by hand and to put it in that way. It just kept coming up with fault. Camera wouldn't work. Hello, Link.
Hello.
Bosman, where people complain about travelling. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I'm a 6-hour drive.
Hello.
I can't see comments. How do I do that?
I can never see. My mum was on my phone.
I just
I've got to concede for the comments. Yeah.
BTS was awesome, says Tron. Bristol was good, but hot as fuck. Shame I can't make it anymore this year. It is. I was hoping you were going to come to Covtron.
Chris is saying, hey, Jason, hailing.
Sorry?
Chris is saying, hi, Jason, hailing.
Oh, hello. Hello, everyone in chat.
Hi.
Sorry, I can't see the comment. Well, I can, but I have to come off this screen.
Where's Chris today, Link? Message, no reply, no nothing. As per normal.
He's
Kissing my
under a
feet.
patio.
He's kissing my feet.
Friendship works two ways, tell him. Not just one.
He's not available.
What message? That's all it takes. Not just blank and nothing. Because like I said, I'm being serious as well. Friendship works two ways. You don't just message one person over and over again. Because when you get no reply or nothing back, then see you later. They're not a friend, are they? They're just somebody that wants you when you do something else.
I don't know. He's literally not talking to anyone at the moment. He's busy. Like, really busy.
Bullshit.
He's really busy.
Yeah, really busy.
Hmm.
Jason works 12 hours. I do 12 hours. I've got a family.
I've done 12 hours and 2
A
hours
wife,
in the gym, and I've still
spider
just come
room,
here.
all the same with the shit. It's bull. It's I'm not having it. Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Anderson, you're right. Oh, somebody tried to call and then disappeared.
I don't think he's even like popped into the group chat, has he? No. He hasn't been anywhere anywhere that I know of.
I don't know.
No?
But
Don't ask me. Nobody
It's-
messages me. So
he says he's tired every Tuesday, every Friday. Never is. Jason, I always think, wicked. Every time I think I'm going to speak to Jason, right, I get a job.
a job.
Because a job at work. Because
Oh, okay.
what do you always say? Don't message because you might as well just fucking call.
Actually,
And then-
if you want to come and work at my place, I don't know for certain. I don't suppose I should even say this really, but I think potentially someone might have got fired today. But we don't know for certain. We don't know for certain, but they were certainly suspended last week.
Oh shit!
Alcohol, zero alcohol policy working for Veolia. So if you like to have a drink, you won't work where I work. They do have drugs and alcohol policies on site, and it's random. Yeah, it's totally random, and if you fail it, you're out. No. I only had a couple. Well, you knew you were working today.
I work on high-profile sites as well as work for one of the biggest, well, probably two of the biggest suppliers of machinery and people and plant to site in the UK. One of them, I had to do a full of the test completely and get a card specifically for them only, so I can go on their sites, and that involves drugs and alcohol. And it would be very fucking embarrassing for my company if anything failed there.
Shit.
Yeah, it's if it is, it'll be the second person in the 7 years I've been there that's lost their job through failing the drink and alcohol testing.
I don't drink.
Well, drugs and alcohol, sorry. Drugs and alcohol policy. Yeah.
I've never.
It's why we're paid so much money. It's not just the fact you've got to be strict at work, you've got to be just as strict when you're away from work.
Exactly.
Well, you're dealing with quite important stuff, so
Well, it's not that you make a mistake, someone will probably get killed. So
exactly, quite important stuff.
Yeah.
I drive a mobile workshop which weighs 3.5 tons. So if I had a hangover, 70 mile an hour down the motorway, falling asleep is not a good thing.
Mm.
Plus, my job, if I get it wrong, it can kill. If I forget to put a safety prop in when I've got a ton of weight suspended above my head.
Anyway, do you want a heads up if do you want a heads up if there's a vacancy?
Yeah.
You got it's the job will be actually driving the mobile plant. We got quite a bit of mobile plant on the site. You know, you got cat telehandlers, forklifts. You get trained to do all that. You don't have to. That's all part and parcel. It's a
The
ridiculously
telehandlers. Do you know when the arms in the air, the boom.
yeah.
Most of the hoses that support that going up are underneath the cab, so you have to have the arm up,
Yeah.
the safety
Yeah,
prop,
you got the arm
and
up. You've got a red bar that you jack it up with, so it can't come down
safety
on
prop.
you.
Yeah. That red bar today, I went to one site and the bolt holding it in wouldn't come off for love nor money, and it would just spin it, and you can't access the other side of it. And I said to the guy, he says, so what are you going to do? Just do it without? And I went, no. I went, absolutely not. I said, that safety prop goes in place and I do the job. That safety prop doesn't go in place, I'm not doing the job. And he was like, oh, well, I'll go underneath it and do it. And I went, no. I says, give me 2 minutes to phone the hire company. Phone the hire company, come back out with a grinder and grind the nut off, put it in place, job done. And he's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I was like, it's health and safety, mate. I said, I am not. I said, I've got 3 kids to go home to. You know, I said, I'm not messing around.
I've worked in the power industry since I was 18, and I've seen some horrific things. Pretty much starting from day one when I went on ops. Yeah.
Strokes wants a job, says he drives telehandlers and forklifts.
Yeah, they're good places to get in. It's just getting in. If you can get into them, you've got a job for life. You've got pension. You've got 6 months sick pay. You know, if you're off for 6 months, you're on full pay, and after that, you go down to half pay. You know, the pensions are probably as good a pension as you're going to get anywhere nowadays. You know, you get shares where you get, you know, for every share you buy, they give you one. It's tax free as well. Comes out your gross salary. So it's a good, but it's getting in. It's getting in. It was the same at power stations. It was getting an interview. It was phenomenally difficult to get an interview. Your application, if you didn't know somebody who worked there, your application had to be impeccable.
Well, I should imagine when you guys put a job out, the amount of applicants must be.
It's funny enough, it's not like the power station was. The power station, one job would come up, you'd have thousands of applicants, and I do mean thousands. The waste burner plants, not so many. I'm very, very surprised, but I don't think people fully understand. They see waste incinerator plants and they think they're dealing with rubbish, which technically you are, but it's all, you're
Food
kept as
waste,
far away from that as you possibly can be.
is it food waste as well?
It's just waste incinerator. It's just a waste incinerator. It's whatever
I
comes
I
in on
work.
the Arctics. We don't want plastics because they have a high acidic value, so that's not good for emissions.
I worked at a food waste where the incineration plant for energy, and they brought the forklift out, small telehandler to repair, and I went, yeah, no. They were like, what do you mean? I said, I'm not touching that until it is sprayed down and jet washed clean.
Yeah,
And I showed them the area I needed, and they were like, what do you mean? I said, that's food waste. I said, you got no chance of me getting on there and doing that until it's clean.
we've had medical. I mean, I think the scary stuff we've had medical waste in that's split open and been on the tipping or floor. You know, so used needles and God knows what else. So that. I mean, it's all right once it's in the pit, but you don't know. You got to be ever so careful with this stuff. So I'm in the control room, but
Congratulations, my pet. With needles and things, you've got like 2 weeks. I think that's for Hep C, and HIV's 48 hours, is it? Or it might be the other way around.
I don't know. It. I mean, our site
So
is kept. Our site's kept impeccably clean. I mean, it really is. It's. I've been and looked at other sites, and I wouldn't work at them. I wouldn't work.
I mean, obviously, I can't. I mean, I can. If you message me and remind me, I'll tell you where the site is. But it was fine. They cleaned the forks, happy days, did the job. And as I was finishing off, you could hear a lorry coming, and then the smell was just like absolutely horrendous. And I said to one of the guys, "I says, what's that smell?" And they said the lorry that was coming in was an Arctic full of onions, rotten onions.
Oh no, we don't have that.
Wow, that.
No.
I mean, I've done a lot of Severn Trent work because all the Severn Trent,
Well, we're Veolia, which is obviously Veolia's water in it. So
all the Severn Trent is Veolia. All the Severn Trent sites are all being upgraded, especially around here. They're literally doubling in size and all sorts. So some of the smells when you go to some of those sites can be like, wow, nothing compares. I mean, I've smelled rotten meat and all sorts. Nothing compares to rotten onions in a trailer. It was one of the worst things I've ever smelled in my life.
yeah, but like I say,
Wow.
they're good. I'm surprised in the local area where I live that there's not more young people apply for it. It just seems to be guys in their 40s and 50s coming there, and for the youngsters to, it's a job for the next 30, 35 years. I mean, if you went in at the bottom of the ladder, the lowest paid job on site's 34 grand a year.
How much?
34.
What's that doing?
That would be in the tipping hall, on the telehandler and on the forklift. All the training's done on site. You get a pension, you get shares, you get 2 grand a year bonus, you get 38 days holiday, I think it is. I'm on a different contract then because I'm shift work, obviously. But yeah, I think it's 28 days a year holiday. Like I say, 6 months sick pay, full pay up for 6 months. If you like broke your leg or broke your back, 6 months on full pay. Ridiculous, and people just don't apply. And I'm like, you're fucking brain dead, man. You're not going to get a better job than that in a 100-mile radius.
My bonus scheme is 10% on the job after they've took out the cost of the the parts and things like that. So 10% of profit made in each job.
Right. Okay.
I can't tell you my salary. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Sorry, I'm not telling you mine.
No, because mine you can put 2 zeros on the end of it, and that'd be yours. I should imagine, at a guess, Jason, with the lifestyle you lead, it's got to be over 100 a year.
Well, I'm not saying.
It's got to be. Has to be.
Unless he's got a champagne lifestyle and a lemonade wage, like me.
It's been a credit card all these years.
Yeah.
I'd had to be one hell of a credit card bill. I got 40
Tinder
grand in
swindler.
statues.
It's in fact it's going to be over 100 because the house and the area that you live and the car you drive and all your collectibles and everything else and daughter and.
Oh yeah, but she's working. She was brought up the same as I was brought up. She was taught to know the value of money. I had a full-time job for 14. And I've never been out of work.
Just about to say though, it's not like you just woke up one day and got into a high paying job.
I can trust you. How much I've got no debts. I own I've got no debt. I'll say this: I've got no debts. I've not got 1 penny of debt. I own my house. If I can't buy it outright, I don't have it. And I've brought my daughter up. So that's how I was brought up, and my daughter was brought up. But my dad, who has got a hell of a lot more than me, has never given me a penny.
Strug said he works in waste as well, and he's got similar contracts, pretty much very similar, but are not the hourly rate. He works in waste and recycling. Used to the
I mean, I do I don't get holiday hours like we discussed this. I think obviously the last time my shifts are set, so my salary is all tied into that. And I mean, for somebody off the street to do my job, we got a guy now. I mean, he's been training now 6 months and he's nowhere near. You're looking at 12 to 18 months.
For my job, for somebody to be at the level I'm at, you're looking at probably 5 years. That's if you've got something about you. You've got to be able to think out of the box.
So that'd be an apprenticeship then, wouldn't it?
A lot of it's self-taught on site because you're chucked in at the deep end as well. You have to do things. You have to really think
I
about.
don't know what it's like. I mean, with the one we do, there's a lot of exams to do, a lot of courses with exams, and it's a very high percentage pass rate. In so much as your pass rate's about 75-80%, you've got to get to pass it. It's not like a 50% and you get a pass. It's 75-80 because of obviously the criteria of the job. So there's a lot of pressure on you. I mean, I was really pissed off because I did all of the qualifications when I worked at the power station to become an operator there. So when I came to be an operator here, I was one of the most qualified people. I mean, basically, they offered me the job at the interview. They didn't want me to walk out and go somewhere else. And that's not me bragging. It's the fact that there aren't many people in the UK that have my qualifications. Simple as that. I've commissioned and decommissioned power stations. You can literally count on your hands the number of people that have done that. But I still had to go through the process working here of having to go and do the exams, which I really didn't enjoy doing in my 50s. It was bad enough doing it in my 30s. Doing it in my 50s, I was like, shit, most of this, I know I don't need to know it. I know I don't need to do it.
It was, I mean, work made me laugh because I had to do my CSCS card. It's only a 6 monthly one. And they were like, oh, yeah, make sure you do all your revision, all this, that, and other. And I was thinking, I used to literally write method statements for at Rolls-Royce on their maintenance team. I used to do a lot of the health and safety for those. So when it come to that, I didn't revise or nothing and passed. And I got told like, oh yeah, a lot of the engineers don't pass it first time, blah 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 blah. And I was thinking, when I did it, I was thinking, this is basic. How are they not passing the first time? You've got all the information out there. You go on YouTube, there's every question, every answer that you ever need.
Some people do struggle in exam situations, though. Some people, you know, it does. I mean, I hate exams.
One of the lads at work, he's just done the advanced one, so obviously that's a lot more pressure. And some of the questions that he had, he told me, and I really had to think about one of them because of just the way it was put and the answers. And it was like, did you tick every box? He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I would have done the same as well. Yeah, we'll start with the hearts. So £30 mystery box from the Spider Shop. I'll cover that on a 26 with the postage. And then we shall roll it again and do another one for Tim's exoticenclosures.co.uk, small acrylic enclosure. So if you want to be in with a chance of doing those, just put a red heart.
I liked your video on your leaf cutter enclosure, by the way. I watched it twice.
It's like I said at the I can't remember if I put it in or not. Those two end bits, I knocked one of them off, but I don't think that's glue fault. I think that's just me being. I've got more strength in my hands than what I realise. Going, why is that not go? Oh shit! Do you know what I mean? Well, I super glued it back on, and it's completely fine.
Yeah.
What I did notice is having transferred. Jeremy was very lucky when he did this because he bought the ants then. I've had mine since like February, so I took out the fungus with a spoon, put it in place exactly how they told me to, and that outworld, the bottom of it is now covered in dead fungus because obviously, like the exterior of the fungus dies off when you move it, must do. But all the ants are hard working; they're off and doing their thing. And then I've spent another 2 hours digging out all the fucking ants from the old enclosure to put in with a new one. I think I had 2 or 3 deaths, and I noticed one of the majors literally ate one of the workers because I put the worker in, and then the major obviously didn't recognise it, or maybe it got different smell to what was going on or something, but it went over and killed it and just put it straight out in the outworld. But
still,
also,
nice enclosure, though. Nice enclosure. I like that.
It's fucking awesome. Absolutely
like that.
awesome. Climbs the walls. They climb up the walls, go get the leaves, come back down. Fucking brilliant. I mean, what I also did was some of the rose petals, I knocked 2 of them down just to give them because I think when I'm moving them, let's make it a little bit easier to start with.
Yeah.
And go from there. But what Jeremy did different to me, he put like a little stick going from the
Oh, up the
base
side.
all the way up to, yeah. So I think I'm
Yeah.
going to add that. Having watched them, I think I'm going to add something like that in there as well.
I think it'd look better, wouldn't it?
What would have been really cool is if you got like an optional set of ant stairs, so then they'd be going up the stairs and down the stairs. But yeah, I like the idea of the water being underneath. I did question. It's a lad called Andy that designs and makes them, and then he uses Tom and Davey as a storefront. And what he did was literally studied the leaf cutters for a long time and tried different enclosures until he got it right. So it's not like it's an enclosure where they've just thought, oh, I wonder if this will work. Fuck it, put it out there, sell it, make some money. That he tried it for 6 months before putting it out there as well. But I mean, the leaf cutters. I mean, my Noah. Oh, absolutely adores them. Absolutely adores them.
My bulldog ones now, I reckon their colony, bearing in mind all I had to start off with was a queen and she had 3 eggs. I reckon she's got about 40 now, about 40 workers. And a lot of cocoons. I'm trying to think how to expand the nest for them all. I think all I'm going to do is buy another Wakuzi nest and just put it in there next to it and leave them to it, because now, as soon as because of course they see they don't use pheromones, as soon as I take the lid off to do anything, they're there. They're there, and they're jumping on you, and they're just protecting the nest.
Dave, I've got the leaf cutter colony itself from Seas, from Ants HQ, and then I got the actual enclosure from Ants Davey. Ants Davey do leaf cutters as well. It's just at shows, if Caesar's around, he will do you a deal on them. So. But Tom Ants Davey, he's actually in the WhatsApp chat as well, in the Ant group and main chat as well. Good lad. So I do like Ants HQ and Ant Antics and Ants Davey.
Yeah, I've used Ants HQ more than anyone else. It's only because I met them at the Coventry show, obviously, and spoke to them, and obviously when I had them issues that time with absolute piece of shit UPS, they were very good and credited me quite a bit. And you still laugh about that, don't you? I've never been so fucking angry. I have never been so angry with a delivery, and I've got an import license, for Christ's sake. I've never been so angry with a distribution company, a delivery company in all my life. I was absolutely furious for the manager to get hold of me and say, "Why don't you come over here and pick it up?" And I've paid you to deliver it. I'm getting angry now just thinking about it.
It was just the way you said, "Do you know who the fuck you're talking to?"
Yeah, I know. I didn't mean it like that. It just came out like that.
I had a part that went through DPD from JCB unique part as well, OEM part, and it was for a customer, and my God, they lost it. DPD lost it. They were like, "Oh, it's been signed for by this person." So where the deliveries go is a unit on an industrial estate. It's a lot easier than how I explain it. So I went there, not picked it up, and I said, "This name's signed for it," and they were like, "That they don't work here." So I went up, spoke to security, and asked them if anything had been in or anything like that. And the security guy was really nice. So he phoned all the businesses on that industrial estate to see if this person worked at any of them, and he don't. So I think the delivery driver must have drove on site, saw a JCB box, and thought, "Oh, this must have one of those little Lego things in it or something like that," and then just fucked off with it. That's honestly what I think, because it was one name, but then the signature was spelt as not that person that signed for it, somebody else. So it's like having Jason's name and then Scott written as a signature.
Yeah.
It was
I
just
don't know if you remember when you were on my live. My friend Jacob Lingard, know him. Jacob, he looks like you. He's an American version of you. He lives in Ohio. He's the one who commissioned me to do the Game of Thrones drawing, and I've sent that to him. Now I've sent it. I did it online. I did the online where they come to your house and collect it, because at the post office by me they're fucking useless. So they came and collected it to me. How long do you think it took Royal Mail to send that drawing from here to Ohio? Bearing in mind they picked it up on a Saturday.
60 quid, 70 quid.
No, how long do you think it takes?
3 weeks.
What, from here to there? Yeah, it's got to be
via
2 or 3
Royal
weeks.
Mail. Via Royal Mail.
2
3
got to be 2 or
weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
They picked it up Saturday morning. It was in Ohio Sunday afternoon.
What?
No
Yeah.
way.
In Ohio, I had the notification come through. It was in the Ohio what's it called? The the customs distribution center. Sunday, it was Sunday evening. I got the message, and I've still got it on my phone. I actually took a screenshot and sent it to Jacob.
What are you doing, Link?
I'm feeding spiders, but I'm so short that I can't reach them.
Have you got fluffy slippers on?
What? Gym socks.
They are the cleanest pair of gym socks I've ever seen. They're not gym
I'm
socks.
not a dirty person.
Yes, you are. That's not what Steve said. Night, Leah. I'm not going to be on for much longer, dude. To be honest. Charlotte, how many people have entered, or are people still entering? Oh, I need to get. Oh shit! I need to send Kevin the addresses for the 4 mystery boxes as well tonight. 14. He said to me, he says, which one do I put the Sabar Red in? I was like, just pick, put names in a hat, dude. Pick one out. I was like, it was like, I was hoping you'd do that instead. I was like, no, you do, dude. Like,
I don't know if anybody wants a Fan K Red, but have you seen how much Fan K Reds are on Spider Shop? 30 quid.
Really?
Down from 100 and what was it, 145 about a week ago. When I looked yesterday, I think they were on for about 30 quid. So if you want a Fan K Red, that's where to go and jump on Spider Shop. 30 quid. That's like 25% of the price.
Well, I think you should put Jason's name and Lynn's name in.
I can't get to my WhatsApp because I'm on the phone, Charlotte. But if you message in WhatsApp now, I can drop you a message back on work phone. Well, let me just hook it up to the internet, so I'm using my internet, not theirs. There we go.
I've got to buy rupees in a £80 mystery box. £50 mystery box.
Yeah, buy roots. That price it should come down because there's thousands of them in the country now.
Yeah, I've got quite a few.
You got like
I've got 6 here, but I've bought 4 more off now. So
it's just
what a mess! What a bloody mess!
when they're a mature female, the blue disappears and they're just.
the same on PMETs.
PMETs, they've been mature, they're still blue. You're looking at what, 20 years of age before they're black?
PMETs go black when they get older. But I don't buy them. I don't buy them necessarily for that. They're a really sexy looking spider, and they sit out in the open and they're lively. They're not some boring thing that makes a burrow and you never see it.
Very true.
These things that live in a burrow for 90% of the time, they could be zebra stripe, pink, purple, all the colours of the. It don't bloody matter. You never see them.
It's a bit like the trapdoor.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, whatever floats your boat. But me, it's like, I like to have something that I can see. I mean, otherwise you might as well just have a pot of soil on the side and just tell people whatever you want.
I mean, a lot of mine hide. The ones that my spiders that are out most of the time are the versicolor and the Avix. That's it. The Avic and the, well, I say Avix, the Durensis M2. Those three are always out and about, but the rest, no, they
In
just live in the
fairness, I
garden.
mean, I've got a Vietnam silver that never goes in its burrow. It is always out in the open. Always sits out in the open. The other ones,
Never
they
see
will
mine.
hide away.
I've got the Vietnam blue and you never see it.
What, Chili Brachys Vietnam blue?
What was that, Scott?
Is that the Chili Brachys Vietnam blue?
Yeah.
I think, if memory serves me right, I think mine are actually. I'm pretty sure. It's a Vietnam blue. Is that discolor's blue now?
Yeah.
Because they put the two together, didn't they? Because they decided it's the same species, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Because I remember having the Vietnam blue and the discolor's blue. When they did that, I was like, you fucking bastards. Now I've got two spiders the same when I thought they were different. Charlotte, how many people?
14.
And have you? Charlotte, just drop a quick message in the WhatsApp general chat. Just put hi or something.
My Vietnam silver's out a lot as well.
Silver.
Oh, it's
Vietnam
even better.
silver.
That's easier.
Hello.
That's much easier.
I thought it would be.
Most of mine are out. Most one is something from Maury. I never see my Oreo, but spider only time was when it poked its bum out and projectile shut up the glass. Hey, JJ.
That's why I like the baboons as well, because they mostly sit out in the open. You can see them.
Yeah.
Baboons don't give a fuck, do they?
No, that's why I've
I've
kind
got
of
quite a
fallen
few
in love with them.
baboons.
I've kind of fallen in love with them, which is probably why I've just got because I say every time I sort of go on spider shops and like that, and I'm just buying some mundane shit. I'm just like, oh fuck it, I'll buy a few spiders while I'm here. So it's probably why I was talking to Chris about it, actually. I said I counted up the other day, I've got 14 Namaquensis. I said I only started off with like 4, but I just kept. I'll have a couple more of them. They're really ace like so. I've got a
Keep
shed
them,
load of
'cause
marks here as well.
if you get a male, let me know.
Okay, they're still really quite small. They're very slow growing.
An adult female, which is an absolute knob. She destroyed the Exoterra background, just decided that she was going to hide behind the back of it, so I had to take that out. I was going to bin it, but I can't remember who it was. But they said use it for the gecko as ledges. I was like, that's a wicked idea.
I've got a load of those Caffrianas as well. Is it Caffriana? Yeah, you pronounce it. They've gone really orange now. They're still quite small, but they've got the colour. They look really, really good. They've started to become a bit more showy now. When they were like slings, you never saw them.
Got any new worlds at all, Jason?
New World. I've got 1 T Blondie. That's it.
Oh yeah, of course. You said on Friday, didn't you?
That's the only one. That's the only New World I've got, and I will not have any. I won't have any more. I won't have any New Worlds because of the hairs. I can't risk going through that shit again. So everything else is old world.
As everybody entered the competition that wants to enter the competition, £30 mystery box from a spider shop. I'll pay for it on the 26th when I get paid, so you have to wait till then. As well as a small acrylic enclosure from exoticenclosures.co.uk. And if you go over there and you don't win, but you want to buy one of the enclosures, put Scott's Inverts, you get 10% off the site at the same time. Channel members get 15% off at Spar Spiders all year, every year. So we'll give them another, 20 seconds? No more hearts come in. That's it. New Wills of dicks and Strogs.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi,
probably
Charlotte.
not.
Sorry.
It's okay. How are you?
I'm like zoomed up into my face. Sorry, people. Everyone's loving my face. Ah.
There is two
Scott
winners,
had me all
Amy, yeah.
hyper. Scott had me a little bit hyper today earlier, and I was like, ah!
I weren't
Completely
hyper
wild.
until I listened back to your messages. And then I was like, oh, wait, I've got an hour's drive, and now I'm like up in the air. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And because
Imagine
of
being on
that,
the motorway.
I don't-
Imagine being on the motorway for 9 hours, and then all of a sudden, a hyper moment kicks in halfway down the motorway.
I drank a litre of water, so I had to go to the fucking services, so that pissed me off. It does piss me off so much if I'm going somewhere and I think, yeah, right, Saturday says I'm going to get there for 10 o'clock, and then I need a piss, so you have to stop at services, which then makes it 1:15. It just pisses me off so much. The amount of times I've tried to piss in a bottle going down the motorway is insane. You just can't.
I've
you
got a
can't-
Chiwi. I've got a Chiwi Extreme, and guess what mine can do? I can make
How
mine
do-
longer.
How do people piss in a bottle like that going down the motorway?
With a Chiwi.
You can't do it.
With a Chiwi.
While driving, you cannot do it.
Use a funnel. Tape a funnel.
Yeah, a Chiwi. That's what a Chiwi is. It's a funnel.
Yeah.
No, just get an empty bottle of Oasis.
But mine's got
And that hurts because you have to get everything in there, and then you have to get something else in there so you can get wee going in and air coming out.
which is an horrible vision. Well, I just use a Chiwi, and it's extendable, so I can make it longer if I need to.
There's bags you can go in and it turns it into a jelly. Really?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that biodegradable jelly though? Can you like empty that
No.
round your own in the stomach?
No,
I stand up
it
and
turns
piss out the
into
window
like
sill, right?
Orbeez. It's
HMP.
round.
What a subject to stumbling on.
Yeah, it
Why
turns
not
it
do
into like an
Why
Orbeez
don't-
gel.
Just stop the car and roll it out. Osman, I normally don't give a fuck, right? I'm not bothered as long as it's covered because it could be kids in other cars and stuff like that, obviously. But on a motorway, you can't. It's illegal. You can't pull over and have a piss. I think isn't it now illegal to pull over and let your child have a piss?
I don't know. I don't take my children with me.
Empty milk bottle is a big that is not a big enough fucking hole.
You only got to get your eye in it, don't you? You don't need to get the whole thing in.
Not when you're driving.
Just rest your eye into it.
No, because it's going to go.
Excuse me, how many times have you had to piss with a penis?
No,
She got
It's a delicate piece of equipment you're fucking talking about here, woman. You don't just.
do
shove
you
your
know what?
eye.
I would really want. If I ever woke up for a day as one of you guys, the first thing I'd be fucking doing is having a sword fight with like something whilst I'm weeing.
And then you got.
I would
Could you
literally.
imagine? Could you imagine Ling waking up with a willy? She'd be looking down, going, "Why is it hard? Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, this is
I
fun."
would not. I would immediately try and wee with it hard because you will say it's horrible.
Yeah, and you can't really do it.
Yeah, I would do
You
it.
can't really do it.
And I would
It
record
doesn't-
it because it's
doesn't
your
work.
body anyway, so it wouldn't bother me.
I've done it just so I can say I've done it, but fuck me.
It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
You literally just have to wait for it to do it
And
by itself.
you
kind of
you
thing.
could literally go outside and clean the patio with it. It comes out at such a high pressure.
Well, that's if it was like a Freaky Friday moment and I woke up with Jason's body and Jason woke up with mine
You lucky girl.
and you woke up
Jason'd
with
be
mine,
squatting
the
over
first thing I
mirror
would do,
with one of those vibrator things going, wait.
I would immediately try and wee and I'd record it because it's your body, so it doesn't matter if I record it.
It kind of does.
Oh, battery's on Donna's phone.
Would be
Sorry?
fun though.
You ever seen the opening of a 4-litre milk bowl? Huge, well big enough for me.
That's the same size as an Oasis bottle opening.
No, it's not. Oasis bottle's a bit bigger. You can just about, well, I can just about push it into an Oasis bottle. It hurts.
You know
Ain't
what
gonna
you
lie.
want? You want to get an innocent smoothie bottle because those holes are massive. The big 1 litre bottles, the innocent smoothie holes are big.
Yeah. Oh, check it
It's
out.
all in it, Scott.
But me and mind you, it's not very often you go down the motorway and you go, oh, fuck, there's no services. I need a piss right now. You can kind of go, oh, I've got services in 10 miles, but I don't need a piss. 5 miles later, you might be, I need a piss, but 5 miles, that's
When I drove up to Chris's, I didn't stop once for the whole 5 hours because I zoned out and I floated up. And then when we were like on the way to Glasgow, I made him stop like 7 times because my brain was like, we. Because I wasn't driving, he was. And I was like, I need a wee. And he was like, fucking hell, I don't want to stop. And he was getting mad. And I was like, I need a wee. But every time I tried to wee, I couldn't wee. So I didn't actually need a wee. It was just my brain telling me to just keep stopping. Oh, God. I was the most annoying passenger ever.
Yeah,
And then I was like,
that's true.
and then I was like making videos all the time of the view. And he was like this, pushing himself into the seat as far back as possible so he didn't ruin my video.
Let's go.
2 more weeks and then it's Peterborough show. Oh, guess what I'm doing on Saturday? I got asked to work at the naked circus.
Have you got to be naked at
No.
the naked circus?
No,
Or is it like
I'm just working behind the bar and I'll be wearing a t-shirt and jeans.
bra?
No, I'll be wearing a t-shirt and jeans.
Is everybody else naked or is it just like a stripped back?
Everyone else will be naked. They actually get full-blown naked. They have a giant rabbit that wanks over the audience and then loads of like weird juice comes out the rabbit's penis. And
So basically, it's not a naked circus, it's an STD breeding ground.
it's called Cirque de Vulgar. It's like the most vulgar circus ever. It's so fun.
I'm sure that used to be a freak show, Circus Vulgar.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's
'Cause I
Cirque
wanna-
du Soleil.
I'm pretty sure I went and watched it.
Cirque du Soleil is a freak show. Well,
Can
it
I
is if you're,
check it's
it
not an
is if
actual
you are.
rabbit, so it ain't me.
But yeah, there is a giant rabbit that comes out and he'll like have a wank over the audience, and there's just loads of random shit that happens. It's so fun. But I had a message off my friend that I haven't seen in like 20 years, and he was like, "What are you doing on Saturday?" And I was like, "Working." You know, what are you doing in the evening? And I was like, "Nothing." And he went, "Do you want to work at the Naked Circus?" I was like, "Yeah."
Chris. Circus of Horrors. Yeah, that is the one I'm thinking about. It was
Circus, no, Google
was
Cirque du
Asylum, wasn't
Vulgar. No,
Circus,
Cirque
yeah.
du Vulgar.
Yeah, but what Chris is and I'm referring to was Circus of Horrors, the Asylum.
Oh,
That
right,
was the
no, it's
freak
not
show.
that.
Got it.
Yeah. That's a good circus, but this one is like literally there's women will come out and they will pick a bloke out of the audience and then tie him to a bed in the middle of the ring and blindfold him. And
then?
no, they do like burlesque all over him and like dance all over him naked. And then when they take the blindfold off, there's like a man with his nutsack hanging in front of his face. It's like really fun.
Have you got the list ready, Charlotte?
I have, yes.
Just flash it at the camera just so everybody knows it's all. So you can screenshot that and then play it back if you're that way. Awesome. Right, let's swap you over. How many numbers is it?
14.
14.
That cat just moved that script.
Yeah.
Ready? So this first one, by the way, this is for the enclosure.
Come here.
No, I need to go there. Delete it. No, hit it again. Number 12.
12 is Connor Wallace.
Connor, if you drop me a message, or if you're in the WhatsApp group, drop me a message. I need my haircut. I need the mohawk back, don't I? In fact, no, I need to shave it off completely. I'm going back a bit more. If you're in the WhatsApp group, just drop me a message through there, or Scott's Inverts on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we'll go from there. £30 mystery box, and again, you won't receive it until the week after the 26th. Hopefully, I can get my finger in the right place this time.
Always the problem I have as well, Scott.
So you'll receive it week commencing the 30th.
The thing with the finger is, Jason, use 3. Let's try again.
It's come up with 12 again, dude.
It's the same.
Hold on then, let me go. Random number generator, we'll get that. 14. Right. I clicked it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scott's Inverts.
Number
He's
two.
been doing this for a
Number
long
2
time.
is Chris. Chris from Chris Hale Art.
Chris from.
Chris Hale Art.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations, Chris. That's
Where's
a bit
your
of good news, isn't it?
spectacles?
Crashes his car with a mystery box.
Where's your spectacles?
I'm not
On the face.
old enough.
You are. You need
No,
glasses.
No.
You do.
No.
You're just a squinter.
Look.
You look more. You look like quite refined, Scott.
You see
Yeah.
the wrinkles? That's from years ago in. What?
I know. You need to get glasses.
And that's also from years ago in. My eyes hurt because of the fucking sun.
You need glasses. Get round ones. They look nice.
I've got round one.
Yeah, round ones are nice.
Do they do ginger ones?
Yeah, they do orangey ginger ones. But yeah, you need to get glasses.
Orange frames with the grey bits, the grey handle bits that go backwards. Whatever you call those.
Arms.
The arms, grey arms. Match your beard then. I don't know. I don't wear them. I wear sunglasses a lot.
I've got aviators. Like Top Gun. I got the same ones as sunglasses as well, but I don't like them as sunglasses. I like my Audrey Hepburns as sunglasses.
I just like sunglasses to work, so then my eyes don't hurt.
Thing is, though, I put my glasses on and I can't see you.
I've bought some right dodgy sunglasses just purely because it was the only ones available. And I was in the van, and it's like, yeah, I need sunglasses because I left mine at home. Today was
I've got
awful.
like 5 pairs of sunglasses in my car. I have to have them.
It was overcast on site today, and then in the car park of the site that I was going to, it was just full of white vans. I was like, oh fuck, sunglasses. Oh, thank you.
It's like when I'm getting up and I'm having to drive back from a show, and it's like really early in the morning. I don't like people looking at me because in the motorway, people always like look at you as they go past. So I just put glasses on, pull my hair over my face, and just drive as far down as possible. There is a service station that I really like there, but it's so fucking expensive. £8 for a pork pie. It's not even in a fitting wrapper. It's like free range. It's Gloucester Services. It's like a big farm shop, like a big organic farm shop. It's really nice.
The only thing I don't like about driving is when you're stuck in traffic. Because if I turn my head that way, there's always some cunt like literally looking up and up at me, like going like that, and I'm like, yeah, it's a lump on the side of my head. It's called a cyst, and no, they won't remove it. I need a little sign up on the window with that, literally.
Why won't they remove it?
Sorry,
Pop it.
if you can't, if you could pop it, I would. But the hairdresser a couple of years ago, he literally scoured the skin, looking to see if it was a hair, and he went, no. He went, your doctor's correct. I went, yeah, I know. Hence, he's a doctor.
Go to a vet and tell them that you've got a cyst, and they'll do it like a cow.
Yeah, but have you seen how they do a cow? That's bullshit. Because they just
The
squish it
cow
all
cyst
out.
is-
They squish it all
Yeah.
out, sew it back up, and then they leave half the skin in there, so it comes back again.
Nah, you got to pull the sack out. I like doing that.
I could use my answering, couldn't I? Just
I love doing stuff like that. I want to go back to uni. I want to do another course, but because I want to do a specific job.
love you long time. You don't need to go to uni for that.
I need to go back to uni to do the job I want to do. I want to do. It's really morbid. I can't talk about it on a live. Might like
Mortician?
Huh?
Mortician?
Yeah, I want to do autopsies.
What's wrong with that?
And I really want to do their makeup. Like, I really want to do the makeup.
Well, the autopsies don't do that, do they?
No, I know, but I want to do their makeup, and I want to do
That's a job in a funeral home.
Yeah, I
Ellie
know.
says,
I
so
wanna
here
do
we
that.
go again. Open mic night with a wanker talking again. Hello, everyone else.
I could go into a funeral directors first and do all the makeupy stuff, and then whilst I'm studying, and then when I'm qualified, try and become an assistant, and then learn.
My ex wanted to do all the makeup for dead bodies and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
she turned. I mean, I even said to her, I said, "You're not going to get a job like that." She was a goth, and she went dressed as a goth. I went, "Are you stupid?" I went again, and they didn't even do the interview. They just said, "You're not appropriate."
No,
Can you imagine going
I
to a
wanna do
funeral
it, though.
directors and there's a goth walking in and out, like dressed up in black with the black makeup on and all the rest of it? I mean, we were kids. We were like 18, 19 at the time, but still.
Quite apt, really.
Yeah, it is. But you'd want to see.
they want to see
You know,
people that are professional, that have got
respect.
empathy.
Yeah, I know we should be accepting of everything in society, and I fully believe that. But if somebody's dealing with your dead relative, then you don't really want to see that, yeah.
No, because religious people see that as Satanism. You just got to look really respectful and well
Yeah, well,
presented.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but that's fucking bollocks. That's ignorance.
Of course, it's bollocks, but
Yes, it is.
still, you still get the Karens out there, don't you?
I always think if it was me being buried, I'd be like, yeah, sound. But if it was my grandma, it would be like, no, because my grandma would not have liked it.
Yeah.
Just in the same way that if you pass away, you can go for a Christian burial, an Islamic one. You can be put pagan burial. You can be put in a bag for feeding a tree. You know, it's all down to the individual that's passed away.
Yeah.
So you've got to put yourself in their shoes and think, yeah, how would they want it?
No, if someone's dead, I ain't putting myself in their shoes. I'm quite enjoying being alive. Thank you.
Well,
I've got a
you know
really
what
good
I mean.
life.
But yeah, I want to do that job. That's what I want to do. And I want to go and watch a live autopsy. Because they do that in London, don't they? The live autopsies.
They did them on the telly a few years ago.
Yeah, but they do them. There's tickets for one now. I want to go and see it.
What? So you can sit in the arboretorium in it, the glassed off area.
It's not on a glassed off area.
Oh, you can actually sit like right next to it and right next to it.
Well, you can
Yeah.
sit like it's like an audience, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can't go down to the body.
No, but you can be at like front row. I want to be front row. I find it so interesting because you think about it, you diagnose a lot of stuff when things are living. You're seeing the organisms moving under a microscope. You're determining how they're moving, so then you can determine what's causing it. But when they're passed away, nothing's moving. Everything's gone. So you need to determine what the fuck happened. I think it's like you'd become a Pink Panther, wouldn't you? Like a little investigator. Like a big puzzle. Especially if you get like a Jane Doe or a John Doe.
The 6th of October, they're in Edinburgh.
I'm not going up to fucking Edinburgh. That was fucking 14 hours to get to Glasgow.
You just get there.
Are they a bit closer? Like a little bit closer.
So the cheapest seats are £24 to £29. Then
Yeah.
the middle seats are 40 to 45. Right
Yeah.
next to the stage is 55 to 60, which plus a service. I thought that'd be loads more than that.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot more. I think it'd be really good to go. But then my job is all about human anatomy, isn't it? What I'm doing now, it's all about the body. So it actually interests me. Biology is
You work
my
in a
thing.
massage parlour.
No, I don't. I run and I manage a spa in a hotel. I manage the whole department.
So if a
Amazing.
man walks in or a female, you get the list of ladies and you go, which one would you like tonight, sir or madam?
No, because there's only me. So they have me or no one. Fuck off. And you ain't getting shit
No,
apart
my
from whatever's on the fucking treatment list. Yeah. There is a new girl that's going to be starting on Thursday, though. She seems okay.
Well, you must have
Hopefully
interviewed her.
Yeah, but she said she said that she can do everything, but then she's like not very confident, and I'm like, well, can you do it or not? Like, what do you mean? So you can either do it or you can't do it.
Did she come with work history?
Well, her own business, so there's no reference or anything like that. I can't ask anyone. So I've got her in on Thursday next week, and I'm gonna do a test on her. I'm gonna trial her out on myself.
Well, she can't be that good, otherwise she wouldn't be looking for a job.
Well, so I'm going to do a trade test on her and then see how she goes, and then I'll get clients in, and then get the clients to write out review cards after it. Because that's the only way I can do it, because it's a confidential treatment, isn't it? They're in a closed off room. I can't sit in there and watch someone.
Will the clients be having it for free?
Huh?
Will the clients get their treatment for free?
No, because she's qualified. She's not an apprentice and she's not a trainee. But just because you're qualified doesn't mean that you're very good at it. Anyone can get a certificate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm. So we'll do a trade test and see how she goes. And yeah, fucking hell. And we've got like a couple other people to interview yet. There's one lady, I really like her. I already like her. She's a Filipino lady. She's already got loads of fucking background. She's got loads of experience. She can do everything I can do. And I'm like, yeah, I can work really well with you. And then someone else came in and she was like, I can do everything except massage. It's like, so you can do manicures and pedicures? She was like, yeah. And I was like, no, sorry.
Strokes, it'll have to be next time, because I need to disappear in a moment. I've got to fly up the shop and get a vape ready for tomorrow.
Oh, Scott, you know those vapes that you can twist and you can have 4 different flavors?
Yes.
There's one that Steve had, and it's coffees, different coffees, and it is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Well-
even like coffee, as you know. I won't drink it, but my God, that is the nicest vape I've ever had in my life.
IVG.
It's got latte, cappuccino, mocha, and something else. And it's like
Well-
so smooth and creamy, and you can really taste the coffee.
But the latte and the cappuccino should taste the same. It's just
No, there's something because one of them's got like a chocolatey coffee taste to it.
No, that's mocha.
that's a
Oh,
mocha. Yeah.
whatever. I
The
don't know
latte-
coffee. Okay, I
latte-
don't drink coffee.
So the latte, the milk goes in, and then the shot goes through the middle. The
This is a
difference with
vape, Scott.
the difference with the cappuccino is the shot goes in first, and there's more air put through the milk, so it's
Look,
frothier, and then
just
then
Google
the
it.
milk
But
goes on the top,
Google
and
it.
then you can put chocolate sprinkles over the top of a cappuccino if you want.
Look,
But
who's showing how much he
it's
knows from his last job.
it's the texture, it's the textures that you're looking for.
Google it. Coffee disposable 4-way vape or something like that.
We've just had a coffee machine now put in the control room at work, and I mean I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I
Got
must
one
admit,
home.
on nights I cane the lattes on nights.
I've got a little pod system. The
It
gold
gives you
sleeve.
wrinkles. It dehydrates the epidermis.
What?
Pardon?
Something
It
about
dehydrates the epidermis.
I was
you
going to say,
rehydrate.
the amount of water I bollock down me, I'm not worried about a few lattes on a night shift.
But you'll get wrinkles. I don't
How old are
have
you, Jason?
wrinkles. I have none.
I'm 53 and I haven't got any yet. So if they all appear overnight, I've done fucking well.
I'm 45 and I've got wrinkles. And Jason's
Yeah.
55, and look at that.
53?
53.
You're adding
53.
years to me, man.
Jason's
Yeah, you're still a
63.
young buck.
And that head is as smooth as a baby's bum.
Yeah, how do you get it that smooth?
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how Jason's got such a smooth skin.
I should tell people something fake now, shouldn't I? Just so they go and do it. Human shit. Rub.
I'll tell you how.
Rub human shit.
Jason,
How many gullible pricks go and do it?
Jason
There
lives
is
by
a girl that
himself.
does that.
Jason lives
Sorry?
by himself and he's single. That's how he's got 0 wrinkles.
Yes. No
There
stress.
is a woman that's
No,
actually
there isn't.
there is. She's actually like spreading the word. She shits in the morning and she puts it on her face as a face
No,
mask
you don't.
for 12 minutes a day to keep her skin young.
The fuck?
She does. I need to find them. I'll find it I'll find the article and I'll send it
It's
to
a
you.
very, very simple equation. Your body's a machine. It radiates what you put in it. If you fucking eat and drink shit, you're going to look like shit. Full stop. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple.
But,
And Jason only eats lobster.
Fucking hell, I've not had lobster in ages. You made me want it now.
I had lobster like a month ago, and it was the best thing I've ever had in my life that day.
Jason's going to be on the Uber on the Just Eat for lobster.
No, I'm trying to think what the last there was. I went out for a meal, and I can't remember what it was now. I had something. Oh, that was it. It was pea linguine. It's the nicest pasta dish I think I've ever had.
Linguine pasta's nice. Full stop.
Pea linguine.
There's
There's a restaurant in the middle of Shrewsbury called the Loopy Shrew. And if ever you're in Shrewsbury, I highly recommend you go to the Loopy Shrew. And yeah, one of the mains they do is this pea linguine, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Where the fuck is Shrewsbury?
Where is Shrewsbury?
just up the road from
Smack
me.
bang in the middle, right where it should be.
How far away from like Coventry and Wolverhampton is it?
Let me just say,
just over an hour from Coventry.
Shrewsbury's not in smack bang in the middle. It's just about a mile outside Coventry.
It's about over an hour from Coventry, about 45 minutes from Wolverhampton.
45 minutes.
From Chris.
From Chris, yeah.
Shall we go to lunch?
You drive past me when you go to Chris. You go past Shrewsbury before you get to Chris.
Oh, should we go to lunch? Should we go to this loopy do?
Shrewsbury. So it's the Loopy Shrew.
Shall we go?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay.
There's a new restaurant opened up called Rhubarb, which apparently they're vying for a Michelin star as well, along with the Walrus. So
Fuck me!
I haven't
We've gone
ate
from
there
fucking
yet, so I've
Asda
got to go and
prices
eat
to
there.
fucking Morris to fucking Waitrose here.
So I'll buy you if you drive here. I'll buy you dinner. You ain't got to
No,
worry
I
about it.
can't let you buy me dinner. But yeah, let's go to lunch. Is it open lunchtime?
Could you imagine taking Jason to McDonald's?
I won't go.
I don't eat McDonald's. That's fucking shit. It makes you shit. It makes you feel shit.
Can I speak to the chef?
Do you know what? I
Are you
have
Michelin star?
never had a Burger King. I have never had a Burger King. I've never even been in one. I've never been in a Nando's. I've never been in what are the sandwich places called?
What?
Greg's.
Subway?
Never been in a Greg's. I've never set foot in
Yes,
a
Aaron.
Greg's.
The next one will be better.
A Subway?
Never been in the Greg's.
No, never been in a Subway. I don't eat bread.
I've never
I'm
had a
gonna go in one.
Greg's. What is a Greg's? Is that just like a bakery?
Yeah.
It is just a
Yeah.
bakery, isn't it?
It's like the biggest bakery outlet in the UK. They're everywhere.
I'm in Cornwall. We have proper bakeries.
Yeah, exactly.
In
They put
Cornwall,
sugar
you'll have a
in their bread.
Greg's.
Fucking
There's
Greg's.
definitely,
Stick your
definitely
Greg's
a
up your
Greg's in
arse.
Newquay.
I reckon
They're-
it's been the last time I had a McDonald's. I reckon it's got to be about 15 to 18 years since I last had a McDonald's.
I
I can't eat McDonald's. It actually hurts me.
I fucking
Do you
love
know what?
McDonald's.
Have you seen that footage where somebody dropped a Big Mac on the street and there was a line of ants and the ants walked around it? And they said, if fucking ants walk round it, just think what you're fucking eating.
Yeah. Disgusting.
The ants
Salt.
literally wouldn't touch it.
No, because it's just a lump of salt.
Just they said it's all the chemicals in it. They know not to eat it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I won't eat it.
It's on the internet somewhere. Somebody it was a thing it was quite a famous picture, I thought, or film footage. I don't know if it was picture or film footage, but somebody
But I
pinned
do
it on our
think
board.
I do think we should go to lunch. Definitely.
I always eat out more than, well, not more than I eat in, but I eat out a lot. I on my days off I eat out every day.
You're going to Cov Show, aren't you?
Coventry, yes.
Yeah. So are you working the Saturday, the day before?
I don't know. I know I'm pretty sure I'm off the day of the show, but I don't know what I'm on either side of it. I don't know.
Okay, well, tell me what you're doing on the 18th, and if you're free,
What
we'll go
date's
to
the
lunch.
Coventry show?
No, on the 12th. On the 13th is the Coventry show. So tell me what you're doing on the 12th, and if you're free, we'll go to lunch the day before.
Okay.
And I'll go to you, and then I'll keep driving after we've had lunch up to Coventry.
Well, say if I'm on nights, it wouldn't matter because I'll just get up.
You'd have to drive past Coventry to go to Shrewsbury.
Not the way she comes. If she comes up the M5.
Yeah.
You still have to go past Coventry to get to Shrewsbury, coming from Cornwall.
No, I'll go towards Chris's way.
She can stay on the M5 and come to Shrewsbury, and then just get onto the M54
And then go.
and cut
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get on the M5 off the M6 in Birmingham, which is north of Coventry.
Yeah. That's
Come
true.
up the M. You should probably come up the M1 onto the M6 onto the M5.
Yeah, he is right. I'm thinking backwards the way I drive to Cornwall.
I don't even know. I get lost. I mean, I went to Milton Keynes and I ended up in Birmingham at NEC.
Well, the thing is, if she came to Shrewsbury, she could pick Chris up and come to Shrewsbury with Chris.
Yeah. And then we'll go to lunch.
Yes, I'll buy you dinner.
Yeah. Is this place got like? We'll talk about it because it needs to have certain foods for Mr. Fussy Pants.
Well, what like? I mean, it's a restaurant. I'm guessing they've got most areas covered.
Kit
Okay,
Kat
that's
and
fine.
burgers.
Eh?
Kit Kat and burgers.
I mean, I'm fussy with my food, and if I can eat there, I'd say most people can.
No, he does like a lot of food. We just need to make. He doesn't like fish. He doesn't eat fish.
No, it's not a fish restaurant.
Oh, okay. As long as it's got meat.
La Mer Rouge in Shrewsbury is a fish restaurant.
You've been to Barnacles on the A5?
No,
Right. No,
no. No, I
that's
wouldn't.
very expensive, but really good.
I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind paying. I mean, there's 2 or 3 of the restaurants in Shrewsbury where it's £70 a head.
We will not let you pay, but we're going to come to lunch.
Okay.
£70 for a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the Walrus is £70 a head. La Dolce
Yeah, but what
Vita
you
is
get,
about
Scott, is so
£60 a
good.
head. I think Rhubarb's about £65 a head.
Mm.
That's without drinks.
Yeah. There's a lot of places down here that I like going to like that. So nice.
I mean, I personally think a meal out should be £50 a head. I think anything less than that, I question the quality of the food. Personally.
Mm. Yeah.
I can remember. I did not. We had a bit. It was more banter. It wasn't falling out a lot at work because he goes to like all the cheapest shit old places you can go, and he
Yep.
paid $5.99 for a meal. And he said, "I paid $5." I said, "Yes, you've bought. Well, congratulations, you have bought the shittest food they can legally sell." I said, "That's why it's $5.99." He said, "You would have probably found better quality food thrown in a bin."
I've had chicken nuggets and chips for 99p in the past. It was only like 5 years ago.
I mean, he talks to people what they want to eat, but I'm like, I'm putting this in my mouth. I'm putting it in my mouth. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to eat it. So, do you want this absolute stinking pile of shit that costs next to nothing, or would you like some nice food? It's a very simple equation to me.
Yeah. I don't eat nuggets either. They hurt my belly too.
Put it another way, you're about to have oral sex. That vagina's not been washed for 6 months. This one is lacquered clean. It's like mahogany. Which one are you going for?
The dirty one, because you know she does anal.
I
Did you
did not
not?
expect that. I did not expect a restaurant conversation to turn into.
With the vagina,
Well, I
you have
just
to do
thought
the
I'd
sniff
bring the
test.
tone down a bit. That way you can get people involved then, can't you? I'm talking about £70 a head meals. Everybody's looking at me like I'm from another planet.
You want the premium pum pum. Only premium for Jason.
Sorry?
Only premium pum pum for Jason.
Well, we've been to this before. I've just got high standards, and I'm not. I don't apologise for them.
I don't either. I know that I'm really stuck up. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, fucking
I
hell.
can't get more stick off anyone I get off some of the lads from work. It's like I can't stand carveries. I hate carveries. Go out for a meal and I've got a queue for my dinner. I'm not back at
Yeah,
school.
and people sneeze, rub their face, rub their nose, then they pick up the fucking spoon, then they mix up the food.
I mean, literally, if you go for look for the dirtiest, smelliest person in that room, you're basically eating off their plate.
And the chefs behind, their aprons are always so dirty.
Yeah,
Like
The
covered in
Tollgate in
shit.
Coventry is very clean and all the food's behind glass. And they put it onto your plate for you.
No, I still can't do it because there's still air particles. When someone farts, the shit particles float around the air for a minimum of 12 minutes.
You think in a Michelin star restaurant, you think the chef's going to go, oh, I need a fart, or I'll just pop outside. Oh, now I'll go back to cooking the beef. No,
No, but I know that he's been tasting the Wagyu, so that shit will have Wagyu particles. It's fine. But no, I can't.
Have you ever eaten at a Michelin star restaurant?
So good.
No.
You get small plates, which you'll probably complain about. Get a lot of, so you get different tastes. So good. That's a taster menu, though. I like the taster menus.
Yeah, well, that's what the Walrus is in Shrewsbury. It's the £70 head. It's 6 courses.
Yeah, I love taster menus.
It's a set menu.
I love it. you get like such an experience tasting different things that you probably would never think of having ever. It's the best.
I can remember when I was back drinking and I went there and I because and I ordered a bottle of champagne and it wasn't until the bill came I realised the champagne was 250 quid for the bottle. I was like, shit, I should have really looked at the price of that.
I just like dressing up because you've got to dress up really nice. And I like to go places where I can dress up. I don't want to go somewhere that I can wear leggings to. Because I live in leggings. So I don't want to wear leggings. I want to dress up. I've got a dress that I bought for myself to wear on my birthday 2 years ago and I still haven't worn it.
I don't know. This might have applied to you, Scott, when you were younger. But we were talking to some of the younger lads at work about it when we went out in Shrewsbury. And if you wanted to go to the nightclubs in Shrewsbury when I was like 19, 20, you had to have shirt, trousers, and shoes.
Yeah.
All the
You couldn't have
nightclubs
you
are like
couldn't have jeans, t-shirt, and trainers. You could go to
that.
the
Right,
pubs,
just what, no.
but you couldn't go in the nightclubs. You had to.
I went
You had
out.
to be dressed up.
The bouncers would laugh at you and go, "What the fuck thing you're going?" Literally, you could not go into a nightclub with trainers on
And,
that.
and
I went
even
out 4
And it
months
even the
ago.
posher pubs,
Smart
This was
casual.
back in the late 80s, early 90s. They wouldn't
All the
let
way
you in
through
if
the
you had
90s.
jeans and trainers.
The late
I
90s,
went
early
out 4
90s.
months ago
Right.
and I wore heels and every girl in there was wearing Nike Airs. And I was like, why is the girls not wearing heels with their dresses? They had
But
nice
sorry,
dresses on, and then you look down and they got the most skankiest trainers on. And I'm like, why? Why are
I
you
wanted to ask
ruining
where
your
the
dress?
head was going. The garage conversion.
What?
I said, "Where's Charlotte gone?" I was going to ask her how her garage is going.
Oh,
It's got
I don't know.
massive like double garage. She's converting into an invert room, isn't she?
All right, I don't know.
I don't know.
Went once, one walked out hungover. Then I was jinging in paid on an arm and a leg for some fancy shit. Says Tron. I mean, I like a good steak.
You
And
see,
that,
even when I ate meat, I didn't like steak. I found steak to be really bland.
I love steak, but it has to be done right and it has to be rare.
and that is from a posh family, Strogs. Nothing like these, says Mad Manx. I am not from a posh family.
I like a rare steak.
I mean, I was growing up in
Honestly.
the 80s and the 90s, and my dad was earning $8.5 with overtime. We went away on holiday for 2 weeks a year in a trailer tent, and the rest of the year, no, we didn't go out nowhere or anything like that.
I think I'm just a snob because my dad's a chef. So I grew up with restaurant food, like restaurant standard food. And then when my mum cooked, I used to puke. And I still do.
The first time I had a decent pair of trainers, I was 14, and my mum ordered them out of the Case catalogue, and I paid them off monthly.
Case catalogue, yeah. Universal, my mum had. It was the great
The
Universal.
Case catalogue for a 14-year-old lad was fucking amazing because the internet didn't exist. But the
Straight
Case
to the back
catalogue
to the toy
had,
section.
had ladies in underwear in there, like fully grown ladies and everything.
See how different we are. I'm straight to the back to the toys, and you're on about the underwear.
Yeah, my first lady experience, like naked on TV, was The Wicker Man.
Oh, that was who was it? Was it? Yeah. Wasn't Bridget Bardot, was it? Who was it in that?
I don't know, but she had the most banging ass.
Was it Bridget? It might have been Bridget Bardot.
I am Aaron.
Yeah, I have seen that. But yeah, my first namey pair of trainers, I was a pair of Puma when I was 14 because my dad would not spend money on Nike trainers or anything with a named brand. So he said, if you want them, you go and earn money. So I got my first job at 14 and I earned the money and I bought a pair of Puma trainers.
No, I can't join the
Nike Air Jordans, black with the red, not Jordan on the sides.
And
I
in
can't
fact,
join
I was 14, and because I was earning money, as soon as I started earning money, my dad started making me pay board there and then at 14. And I know lads who in their 20s who still live with their parents and don't pay board. I said, you'd be fucking paying it. My dad took 25% of my wage off me.
No, Chris.
I am the only child between my mum and my dad, and I was raised the Chinese way. So
Isn't that a song by Level 42?
I don't know who they are, but yeah, I was raised that way, which means I had pretty much anything I wanted. My dad gave me a £50 note in town to go to Woolworths to buy some sweets, and I put it inside the blind dog statue outside the bakery, and my mum literally wrung my neck. She was like shaking me in the middle of town.
I bought my first house when I was 24, and I was on my own, and I was the only lad in like our group. All the others had bought houses when they got a girlfriend and they settled down. I was on my own, and I bought my first house when I was 24. And my first house, with the mortgage and the bills and everything else, I actually ended up paying less than what I was paying my dad, because my dad was taking that much off me for board and everything else. My mortgage was less than what my board was living at home.
Yeah, but then you got to add your food and everything, so it probably worked out.
Yeah, but it was a fair trade off, because you got your own fucking house, and
yeah,
I was 24,
No.
and I was quite lucky, because we were working for National Power at the time, and I got a load of money through shares, so I managed to buy furniture and all that as well. So it wasn't I had a sort of quite a big help from being in a very fortunate position with where I worked, that I was able to kit the house out with just the bare essential stuff. But my first house was 40 grand. 40 grand my first house cost me.
mad.
And I sold it, I think 7 or 8 years later, I sold it for £129,000.
Ideal.
And
My auntie,
people say like, "Oh yeah, you make money," and it's like, well, only if you had 2 houses would you make money on selling a house, because like Jason will probably tell you, he bought one at 40, sold it for 120, and no doubt you reinvested that into your next house.
Yeah.
my auntie
Not
paid
Aaron.
11 grand for her house.
Sorry?
My auntie, she paid £11,000 for her house, and it's now valued at like 350 because it's in the most desirable area of Cornwall.
My dad's, I'm not going to say the figures that my dad's made, but the money my dad has made on properties is insane.
She hasn't left. She hasn't moved. She's been living in it since the freaking 70s. She won't move.
My nana and granddad paid 7 grand for their house, and then when they passed away, my mum sold it for nearly 300,000.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? How like the price change.
My dad's house 2 houses ago was in the Shropshire Magazine. Centre page.
Yeah.
Madness.
It's where he sold it after me and my brother had moved out, because it was just too big for him and my mum to be there on their own. I mean, it got like, I forget how many acres of land it got. It got stables and everything. It was huge. Got its own brook, its own wood.
I went to somebody's house to repair a little dumper, and the workers, they'd fucked off, so it was just the landowner, and I was chatting to him, young guy, and I said to him, I said, "This is an amazing place. Literally, garage was about six across, which he took me in one of the garages to show me his custom-made motorbike. But the 3-bedroom house was on the property. It was in the middle of a forest on the side of a hill, and he'd knocked down a 2-bedroom house because his wife wanted this area for riding the horses, training the horses." And I was chatting to him, and he went, "Oh no," he said, "that's we don't live in the house." He said, "We just bought this for the horses." He says, "We're knocking the house down." I went, "What are you going to put there instead?" He went, "Stables." And I was chatting to him, and I said, please don't think like I'm jealous, because you've worked your way up. I'm quite respectful like that. I think you've done amazingly well. I said, "Where do you think, with my position that I'm in, do you think my wage is appropriate?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "But if you haven't got any qualifications," he said, "the money's in marketing and sales." And he said, like, things like Coca-Cola and the drinks market is where to be. Take that how you will. But he did know money. He knew how to do his thing. I mean, this guy's. I mean, the property I was at repairing it. It was just like picturesque, absolutely picturesque. And I was like, I mean, at the time we were in a 2-bed as well. We were renting a 2-bed, so we hadn't even moved here, and we hadn't even found this place or anything. And I was thinking, you knock it, that would be ideal for us just to move straight in. And you're going to knock it down and literally just build a small stables there. I was like, wow.
There's a guy who I've been on some live streams with the statues. He lives in Thailand. He's on my Facebook page. His name's Art. And he when he started getting into the statues, he actually had a showroom built. And this showroom has got the very latest. It's got light sensitive blinds built into the glass, so they angle to keep the sunlight off the statues. It's got full air conditioning in there. He had the marble for the floor brought in from Italy. He took on a whole staff just to open the statue boxes and get the statues out. He's got well over £500,000 worth of statues in there. I don't know how much the place cost to build. I'll send you the link to it. You look at. He's done a video actually on the build of it. He's had it now for about 2 years. I've done a few live streams with him. I mean, to give you a rough idea, the guy's 40 years old. He looks like he's 20. His other hobby, he collects sports cars. I don't know how many millions this guy's got, but he has got fucking millions to play.
What job does he do?
I don't know. He keeps that side of his life very, very private.
That's what this guy did. He wouldn't tell me what he did for a
Sounds like
living.
a fucking hitman.
That's what I thought this guy was. He looked like one as well.
Oh.
He's obviously in marketing or something like that, because everything to do with. I mean, he came onto the statue scene when I just started YouTubing, and
Does he like
straight away his first videos he had like a proper edited introduction. He had his own brand's label already made up. Everything was top spec. I mean, even at his desk, he had the full wraparound computer screens, all the latest equipment, and
does he make friends with psychos a lot, like psychotic people?
Don't know.
I mean, because I'll happily just be his friend.
He speaks fluent English.
Only so that I can have a look at his stuff. I only want to look at his statues and stuff.
He's got.
He'll probably go, "What the fuck is this person?" Because I'm a bit loopy.
I'm pretty sure he's one of only a handful of people who bought the life-size Hulkbuster, which I believe is about $180,000.
Now,
and you have to actually have a forklift just to unbox it.
Fuck now.
But he's on my Facebook. But his name's Art Statue Collector. You put it on YouTube. He's got his own channel, and he says it's on there. He's got his showroom and everything. It's incredible.
I just like looking at everyone's stuff. Like Eric with his little brushes. He had me in stitches. I never knew that you used brushes, like proper little brushes.
Oh, for cleaning them.
I just thought you just get a duster, a bit of fucking Mr. Sheen.
No, you don't spray them, Jesus.
Yeah, well, that's what I had in my head the first ever time, right? You had me on your live, and I was thinking
you can't even get sunlight on them, which is why I have to put them in certain places.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking Mr. Sheen, a fucking duster, wish wash dash. That's it, lovely, nice and full.
This is why I've got a gardener, but I don't have a housekeeper, because I couldn't risk.
And then you got Eric that just popped up and started showing us his brushes, and I was thinking they look like MAC brushes, they look like makeup brushes.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "No, you brush the statues off," and I was thinking, "Oh, I'm sure you just use a duster." Everything would just
I've got a couple of like the blusher brushes. I use those.
Yeah.
I've also got a keyboard vac, which I use as well.
Okay. If you use my makeup brushes, you get slapped.
I wouldn't use used makeup brushes, because obviously they've got makeup on them.
No, they get washed, otherwise you get spots. Although I get spots anyway around here, because I always wipe my face with when I've got fucking massage oil on my hands. I just do that,
Well,
and then I think,
if you're coming up to go out for a meal, you'll be able to see them because it really doesn't do
Hey,
justice,
Jaden.
like seeing them like that. It's just standing in the room with them.
yeah. I reckon Chris would really like looking at them as well. But I want to see the one in the bedroom. That's the one I want to see.
Yeah, damn right you do.
I really like that one.
Well, what about the Nazgul? I've got a if you hang on, I've got a life-size Witch King to go along with that coming soon.
Oh my god, that's the one I really liked, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know when. The guy in Singapore messaged me just a couple of days ago actually about that.
Well, this will be in October if we come up and you're free. So hopefully, if it's there.
I don't know. I was sort of hoping it'd be here by the end of the year, but at the moment you said there's no signs of it shipping yet. So, but it's part and parcel, really. I mean, I've already put over £1,000 down on it already. So,
Have you fixed your Lego enclosure yet?
my Lego enclosure? No, I've
Yeah.
not. I've got to order another one of those. I've just done that Jaws one, so I need to order one of them. So I'll do it at the same time.
Yeah. I've got Lego upstairs that I need to build, but I haven't had time because I've built a bed, haven't I, Scott?
Out of Lego.
It's the best bed ever. No. It's an 18th century Edwardian bed.
How'd you get that thing?
I'll tell you in a bit when we say goodnight.
Hey, Cora. Yeah, I am actually going to have to say goodnight because of the time.
Yeah, I've got to get up in 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
I've got to get up in 6 o'clock, 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
thank you.
It's been lovely chatting to you all. I wasn't expecting to do this tonight.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you to everybody watching. Congratulations to both winners also.
Yes, congratulations to everyone.
But yeah.
That's it.
All right. Take care, everybody. And good night.
Night.